Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome to another SaruShow, the one day of the week where we pick a subject, we talk about it here, and we share our memories. We share our retro memories and all that other stuff. How are you guys doing tonight? This is actually going to be the last SaruShow that we do ever. I'm just kidding. That we do before we leave to Mexico. We're going to Mexico in a few days, in less than a week actually. So this will be the last Saturday show, but we will do some lives. Like maybe we'll go out and, you know, we'll grab some tacos and go live or something like that. We'll do something fun. And then we will be doing some streaming as well when we get to Mexico. We'll be doing some game streaming. I might take the Vita TV as my streaming device. I'm not sure yet. I don't want to pack something too crazy, but yeah, I might take this guy. And we can just do some PSP. Or maybe I'll hack it before we leave. I'm not sure. I don't know. Or maybe I should just take the Mister. So many options. But anyway, guys, how's everyone doing tonight? We've got a bunch of people in here. Let's go ahead and say hi to everyone that's in the chat. I see Hippy Dippy 89 says hi. Hello, welcome. Matthew is here. Mackenzie, Randrick, Markdell. What's up, Markdell? Matthew. Oh, Matthew with the $50 donation. Oh my gosh, Matthew, you were
tacos for Panda and Saru, I guess.
That'll get us so many tacos. Thank you so much, Matthew. I appreciate that. Mexico Daddy says Ando Gamer. Thank you, Ando Gamer. Famicom Collecting, what is up? Welcome in. Thank you so much.
Radrick's here too.
And Radrick says, I never really did any trips as a kid, so my answer is fairly recent based on my trips to Japan. That works too. It doesn't have to be when you were a kid. It could be summer vacation, whenever you go on vacation, anytime of the year is good, as long as we get an answer so that we can talk about it here. Then that's great. I want to hear your memories. I want to hear what you guys played when you guys flew on your 14-hour flights to Japan, or you know, your drives from wherever you're at to Lake Tahoe or whatever. I want to hear about it.
Mark, we need to see you eat a $50 taco now.
A $50 taco. A $50 taco would probably consist of like a table-long taco or something like that.
Aren't tacos like 50 cents there?
Yeah, so you'd have to have like an entire like bar.
Mark says 5 cents.
Bar-sized taco. Yeah, there's like 50 cent. It's like 50-cent tacos, right?
But they have. Remember there was a thing 10 cents a taco. Remember at Taco Naco. Remember?
It was 10 pesos.
10 pesos. Yeah.
10 pesos. No, it's 50 cents.
50 cents. Oh,
yeah.
50 cents.
Yeah, 10 pesos is 50 cents. So there's a lot of places that still do 50-cent tacos, but like most of them now are about $1 a taco. This depends on where you go too. Since we usually stay in like Mexico City, they tend to be a bit more, I guess. But I mean, like, to who, right? Like, for me, $1 for a taco is good. We taco now. Sorry, I had to say it. So we need to see you eat 100 tacos. Mackenzie, thank you so much for that resub on the Saru Emoji Club. He says 2 more months until level 6 bad. Woohoo! Says Mackenzie. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. That helps us greatly. Thank you so much. What are you doing?
No.
What are you doing, Jesse? GG Beakerman, what's up? Welcome.
She goes, shrimp taco, gross.
Delicious. I love the fried shrimp tacos. Like, I like that. Thank you. 29 months. Oh my god, that's like 8 years. Thank you so much, Mark Dell. He says, OMG, so many months. I know, that's like a decade. Thank you so much, Mark Dell, for the continuous support. 29 whole months. That's a long time. Well, that's a long time. That's like how much is that in real times? 7 times. 7 years. And Radrick, thank you for the Saru Emoji resub. 36 months. 36 months.
Damn, Radrick.
Long time. Long time. Yeah, Radrick has been here since the beginning. Him, Reluctant Hero, Objection. Those are right. Objection too. Jeff Allison.
I gotta go back. I gotta go see.
Yeah, those are all people who've been here since the beginning of time.
We should go to Polanco.
Oh yeah.
See if we can find that
guy. No, he's kind of scary. Kind of scary, gropey hands. Happy Pride Month, says Fat Bandana. Welcome in, Fat Bandana. Thank you for stopping in. What, do you find the name funny? It's hilarious. I still feel like the newbie. What, 29 months? That's like, dude, that's two that's 2.5 years. That is a long time. Long time.
It's just 3 years, 24 days, membership for Emoji.
Oh my gosh. There it is. There it is. There it is. Thank you so much once again. Radrick, Mackenzie, Mark Dell. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Banky! What's up, Banky? Welcome in. Banky says, hey family. What's up, Banky? How you doing? How are you tonight? Alright, so let's get into our weekly question, you guys. Let's see how many we got first before we get into it. We got 12 answers today. Very cool. People are still answering too?
Go to the next tab.
Let's see. Is that one new? Let me see.
That's weird.
No.
I don't see your answer, Mackenzie.
Let's see. JT, Saru.
No, you're going too high.
Oh, okay.
It goes by dates.
Oh.
So anything below 611.
Gotcha. Okay, so.
Oh, there's Mackenzie right there. 611.
He's the first one. He's the very first one.
Okay, then we're gonna have to get it.
Yeah, we do have one for Mackenzie. I think this is confusing the way you have it.
It is. No.
Maybe make a space.
I can't. This is Swedish Sugar does it, not me.
Oh, what about this one? Is that one? Did you get that one? Cerulean? 611?
It's really made it. He already has one up here, down here.
Oh, okay. Alright, just making sure we don't miss anybody. Just making sure. All the hearts. Thank you guys. If you guys can hit the like button on the stream, that would help. That would help little old me with the YouTube's stupid hungry algorithm that keeps me buried at the bottom of the ocean. Matthew says, is Saru going to die of exhaustion from Merox tonight? Did we even get a Merox answer
I
tonight?
don't think we did, no.
I don't think we got a Merox answer tonight.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I don't think we did.
I guess you could read Mackenzie's first.
Okay. Which one
One
says?
second. Because it does this to Google Docs.
Alright, but yes, you guys can still answer the question if you guys have the link to
Just lost
all the stuff.
Yeah, because it does so.
Okay. You're fine.
Sorry.
My answer is boring because I remember doing it 30 minutes before the show. Womp womp, says Randrick. That's okay. I'm just happy that people answer it in general. Even when we get super long 3-page answers like Merox or 2-word answers like Cybergirls.
You don't have to worry because Mackenzie just did a Merox answer.
Oh, did he?
So let's read that one.
That's okay. He's allowed.
He's allowed.
He's allowed. He's allowed. Alright, here we go. Let's start off with Mackenzie's. His was the first one on the sheet. Mackenzie, aka Ring Fit Master, says, nowadays I will usually take my Nintendo Switch whenever I go on vacation, but back in the day it was always my GBA SP, and it's still a great console to this day. Oh my god, I just saw that pop up with the whoa, that's a cool sticker. It's a transforming hippo.
I think most people answer the last moment.
Mike Dell, thank you so much.
You.
I appreciate that.
We're definitely gonna go to Polanco.
Yeah, okay, we could do that. We'll go to Polanco
and the same area.
We're gonna
see if we can find.
There it is. Thank you so much, Mark Dell.
We're gonna try to find that burger guy. Remember?
The burger
Not
guy?
find him, but like let's see if he.
The guy who like was all like gropey hands.
Yes.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
He molested me.
Oh my god, he did molest me.
He did molest me. Let's not find that guy, but we can go to Polanco as like, that was the first place we streamed from, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Polanco. We can do that. We can go to Polanco. It'll be the first place we stream from.
You got molested by the girl, or the guy, and
the guy.
The girl, that woman wanted to like sell me cigarettes and sex.
and cigarettes and a blowjob. She was offering Jesse cigarettes, and then the cigarettes evolved into cigarettes and a blowjob. She's like, buy one, please. And I'll suck your... It's a hippo optimist. That's so cool. Thank you so much, Mark Dell. All the tacos, $100 tacos now, says Matthew. Sweet like sugar. Sweet like sugar says all the tacos. Let's see here. I dare you to do this for the next question. Don't feel bad. Mine was a mixture of waiting till the last minute and not having stories, because I don't go on vacation, says Famicom Collecting.
Mark says, think of all the sex you can buy.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Mark Dell and Matthew. You guys are awesome.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
There was a charm that would have been fun by me and Mark.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have been. Cassius is here. What's up? Welcome. He says, howdy, y'all. Hello, Casimuse. Long time no see. Where's the Casimuse? You know who recently came back also was Brian Trusty. And I was like, Trusty! I haven't seen Trusty in like 72 years.
Brian Trusty did he answered it this time.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Hopefully it wasn't because I put him on the spot. Hopefully he wanted to answer. Because I was like, oh, Brian Trusty here. Answer the weekly question. He's in his mind is like, this is why I don't show up.
Yeah, Brian Trusty showed up on Twitch last night. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. And it'd been a while since we'd seen Brian Trusty. I did talk to him a few days prior to him showing up, but he hadn't showed up on the streams because, you know, life stuff, you know, life gets in the way of stuff. And he came in and everyone was like, oh my god, Trusty is here! Yeah, everyone was happy to see Trusty. Sorry, I've been a busy boy, says Cassius. Like I said, life happens, but it's nice to see you. It's nice to see you here. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for stopping in, and welcome. Welcome, welcome. Trusty is jealous of your Rugrats handheld, Mark. Yeah, Brian Trusty was saying that he wants to get a Miu Mini. A Miu Mini. Speaking of Miu Minis and portables, this beautiful device here brought to you by Mark Dell. Mark Dell, the show sponsor. This thing is so cool. Let me show you guys. We're gonna take it. It's coming to Mexico with me.
I'm gonna play it.
We're gonna share it.
Play it.
We're gonna share it. I still haven't taken the film off because I haven't put the screen protector. But I don't know. I might just not put it on. I might just take this off and not use a screen protector because I'm not one to be rough with my portables, or I don't put it in my pocket, so I don't really like. I do the same thing with screen protectors. I don't really put screen protectors on stuff because I don't really do anything crazy with them. I'm kind of careful when it comes to that, so I might not do that. But look at this. Look at this. And Mark Dell, like, look, he knows what I like because this are like the Super Famicom buttons. Absolutely beautiful. It's like the Japanese Super Famicom style, or the European Super Nintendo.
Mark doesn't. You kept the box. Mine goes right in the trash.
No, the box is so cool. You can't throw the box away. When boxes are this cool, you can't throw them away. Look at how cool this box is.
Matthew says, Trusty's jealous of your regrets and held Mark.
Look.
Trusty's confirmed to be still alive since we like sugar.
Trusty is still alive.
Randy says, oh, I know. Saru and Jason can have a contest the first who finishes 50 tacos.
Oh my god. I can't even eat 3. By the time I've had 3 tacos, I'm already full. I'm already super full. A Sasquatch in Time is here. Did we get a Sasquatch story tonight? Is there a Sasquatch story about a Sasquatch playing with portables in the forest, in a tree, staring down at the people he's going to eat later? Saru, you should put the box on the shelf to display. Oh yeah, you're right. I should.
Will it fit?
No, it's too tall.
Bottom one, probably.
It's too tall.
Bottom one will fit.
Oh,
yep.
Mew. Mew, 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 mew.
Says you should put the box on the shelf. We're not talking about Super Nintendo clone system from Mexico back in Mexico. Says Green Fruit Master. Yeah, Matthew Roach took that, Mackenzie. We gave that to Matthew. I know what you like. That's why I put it into Rugrats. Says Mark Dell. Rainbow buttons. Taste the rainbow, says With Sugar.
All of the rainbows. There it goes. It's on the shelf. It's on the shelf. The Miu is on the shelf. All right, let's get into the weekly question. Thanks, you guys, for the super generous donations. That's gonna be totally awesome for when we go to Mexico. We can eat. We can eat because I have like our Mexico survival money is basically what I have here. I have a bunch of pesos in a little drawer. My leftover money from last time, and then whatever a bunch of Dreamcast versions of FX Unit Yuki. Sorry, my eye is like tripping out. Dreamcast versions of FX Unit Yuki. I think a few of them sold. I think he said like 4 or 5, but that'll keep us afloat. And that should be enough, really. That should be enough, which is good. And I think Jesse's mom sent him some money too. So we should have enough to do stuff. I mean, like, Mexico's fairly inexpensive, so and the room's already paid for. So really, it's just like whatever pocket money we have, we'll be good.
She wants me to get her some stuff.
Oh, she does?
Yeah.
Okay.
Things at church. The churches over there are so beautiful, by the way.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they are. I'm stupid. I don't know why I'm saying that. No, for you. That's right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But anyhow, so last week we asked you guys what is portable that you do or did take with you on summer vacation or any vacation. Summer vacation is just a word we use because summer is here. Summer is here, so a lot of people do stuff for summer vacation, but it could be any vacation. Any vacation you went to, you took it on a bus ride, on a plane ride, whatever. It doesn't matter. Whatever your portable of choice was to take with you, that is the question this week. And the first one comes to us from Mackenzie, Ring Fit. He says, I will usually take my Nintendo Switch whenever I go on vacation, but back in the day, it was always my GBA SP. It's still a great console to this day. Games had that fun pick up and play nature, so no internet required. No patches or updates, just sit down and play the game. One of my favorites on the GBA is Medal of Honor Infiltrator. Super cool top-down shooter with some rail shooter stages, and a cherry on top is real World War II footage with some actual top-notch music as well. Well, as good as the GBA could do for music. Anyway, it's summer of 2004. My 9-year-old self only has a few Game Boy Advance games with him. One of them is Medal of Honor Infiltrator. It's the middle of the night, and I'm sitting back in my seat on the passenger side, on the right side behind my mom. Both my brothers are dead asleep, and so is my mom, while my dad is the only one awake, drinking probably at this point a lukewarm coffee, but I wouldn't know. On stage 3 air raid, the level is a night stage, and if you must sneak around everywhere, taking out guards who are in your way and destroying the aircraft. The music has that tense ring to it. You are never sure if one guard sometimes will be around the corner, so you must take care of things where you go. There's also searchlights everywhere, so watch out for those. I destroyed the aircraft. I destroyed the aircraft, my main objective, and I completed my secondary objectives. Find top secret documents. What are the top secret documents? We don't know. It's classified. Anyway, I think I'm in the clear, but suddenly I get spotted by a guard. The alarm goes off. Guards from all directions start coming out, and they are determined to hunt me down. I barely made it out with 5 pieces of health remaining, but I make it out just for a voice to say, "Good job." The stage was pretty tense for a 9-year-old. Nowadays, it's pretty tame with the first-person shooters that kids play nowadays. This game will probably look boring to them, but to me, this was a really cool game, and with myself enjoying playing Medal of Honor games on home consoles, this one on the GBA was the coolest thing to bring that Medal of Honor experience on the go. In many ways, to this still feels like that. The GBA, I know, was always criticized for not having many original games, but I don't know about that. Sure, Nintendo re-released many classics, but I think the GBA's greatest strength to me has at least is adapted to its home console versions. Were the GBA versions always better than their home console versions? Not always, but I think that they make great companion pieces like this Medal of Honor game I talked about. It's a great little footnote of video game history that can stand tall beside its other brothers in its family of games. That's all I got for now, says Mackenzie. Very cool. I think we played that game on stream, right, Mackenzie? I think we did. I think it was your recommendation too that we played that one. It was like a commando style kind of game, like a run and gun. And
we did.
Yeah, it had like FMV sequences in it, right? For like a GBA game, had like full motion video, and I think it utilized that like what is it called, like the Game Boy video compression, and it looked cool. It looked really cool for a Game Boy game. It looked good. It looked really good. All right, I need a drink. My mouth is totally dry after that. That was almost worthy of a Marox answer. I said almost because it's not quite as long as a Marox answer, but it's a contender.
You guys did, yes. You guys played it last time. You guys were in Mexico.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I remember playing that. Oh yeah, we played on the Mister, I think. Right? When we took it to Mexico, I believe. Alucard is here. What's up? He says, hey guys, how's it going? Welcome in, Alucard. How are you doing? Thank you for stopping in. Alucard says, Remix Sugar. Welcome. Thanks for stopping in. Let me see
hi to Alucard.
If I missed any comments here. Beto is here. What's up? He says, hello, Panda. Dice Beto, ¿cómo estás, Beto? Says, hello, amigo querido, ¿cómo estás? Ya vamos a México. We're going to Mexico. All right.
You should show this off.
Oh yeah. we sold up a bunch of amiibos on Whatnot, and Jesse was telling the story about how he picked up this Pac-Man at a swap meet for $1 because it had paint on it, right? So they were selling it for $1, and Jesse was trying to get the lipstick off, but he couldn't. So I guess they used maybe like a permanent Sharpie or something, but that's why his lips are kind of smeary, because
I think they were trying to do some Pac-Man.
Yeah, I'm guessing they were trying to turn it into Miss Pac-Man, and they put like lipstick on it. But since Jesse tried to take it off, it just looks like Pac-Man in drag giving sloppy blowjobs at a glory hole. His bottom lip is all like smeary. The top lip is sharper, but yeah, here you go. Happy Pride Month. Pac-Man represents. All right. So what's everyone been playing? Mackenzie is asking the chat. Alucard says, "Hey everyone, I'm on mobile, so hard to tag everyone." Says Alucard. You think YouTube would have made that easier, right? Like, I feel like YouTube makes that too difficult with it. It should be like, as soon as you start adding someone, it should pop up like it does for Twitch. Like, why doesn't YouTube do that? I feel like YouTube is so inconvenient when it comes to like simple little things like that. I don't get it. That's not Pac-Man. That's his forgotten brother Pikmin. All right, good answer there, Mackenzie. Sorry, I fumbled all over the words multiple times. All right, next one comes to us from Inu Base. Inu Base, for those of you just coming in, the question was, what portable do you or did you take with you on summer vacation? Next one comes to us from Inu Base. Inu Base says, I have a lot of portables. Not that many vacations, though. The PSP and the DS both got a lot of use on a few of those few escapades. Luminous, Darkstalkers, Wipeout, and JRPGs. And then you have a portable N64 that was also a GBA with the nicest screens of the day. The new Super Mario Bros. Was refreshing throwback to 2D Mario. The Super Mario RPG's gimmicky but funny use of dual screens, revisiting GBA games, or even some new games made the most of long hours on the train or on the plane. Fly away, says Inu Base. Cool. Man, yeah, the PSP was one that I took with me like everywhere back then. I loved it. I loved being able to like watch stuff, because I remember I would buy like anime on UMD, and like, you know, I'd watch movies on the PSP. It was cool. It was a cool. Puckman, says Randrick. But yeah, great answer. I love that. Mackenzie says, my grammar was terrible, Saru. I think I wrote my answer in the middle of the night, probably 3 in the morning. It was fine. There was an absence of commas, so like I kept reading like everything is like one sentence. But it was fine. It was fine. I don't care what you guys write, as long as I can read it. And and we have stuff to talk about, you guys can write whatever you want. Sometimes I don't read like Marox's answers because they're too long, and I feel like I would run out of breath. And like I don't want like when they're super long, like 3 pages long, then I'll use like the auto reader just because I want to keep that high energy to read everybody's. But that's usually the only time when we'll do the auto reader is if like the answer is like super long. Let's see here. All meows next time. Nothing but meow. Meow 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 meow. PlayStation Portable meow. The PSP was awesome. My only problem with the PSP was just I was always so worried about a disc getting scratched over with the protective plastic. I didn't really. You mean like the outside of the disc? That happened a lot. Like I have a lot of UMDs where like the outside plastic is like super scratched. Like I was looking at my copy of Valkyrie Profile, but that's also like how you can tell which games got played a lot. Because I think my copy of Tales of Eternia also is kind of scratchy. And that one in Valkyrie Profile got a lot of play back in the day. I always had the plastic pop out. Oh, I only had that happen on one game. And I put it in one of those replacement cases they're kind of dodgy though, because they're like that like clear plastic. They don't really match. So I have one UMD that's like in this like weird like clear shell because the little flappy broke off and I was like paranoid that I was just gonna get like messed up. So I bought one of those like third-party ones. But they don't really look that good. They don't look good. But I guess it'll protect it. That's the important thing, is that it'll protect your game. Alucard says, when I first got a PSP, I almost ruined the game it came with. I thought the disc came out of the plastic shell thing. Oh no! Yeah, that's something that happens because they're kind of like, even the actual PSP ones are kind of flimsy, right? Like I have some games that are already like coming off, like at the seam or wherever it's glued together. Let's see here. I always had the plastic pop. I read that already. I've never seen the replacement cases. Yeah, they're like this like weird like clear color. Matthew says there was a gap in the inner plastic where the laser would read all the data. Right. And it had like the thing. For me, I always found that laser discs were like, for me, the evolution of mini discs. I was huge on mini discs back in the day. I wonder if I have any over here so I can show you what a mini disc looks like. I think I had one here. I'm gonna grab one really quick.
I moved everything around here.
Oh, you did.
Check over here.
Let me really grab case PD.
Check the.
No. Oh no. Then I have your foot. Alright, well I couldn't find a mini disc, but yeah, the PSP, I mean you guys know what it looks like, but like the PSP has like this thing, right? And then like this is just like out in the open. But I feel like it's the same size. Like if you look at a mini disc, look at this one. This is K-pop hits 1999. This was what I used. I was big into mini disc. I got a mini disc player in 1998. I got like the combo player that came with the portable. I still have my old portable. The deck broke a long time ago though, sadly, my recording deck. But they're about the same size. This one is all cracked though. I wonder if it still works. It's like a deep crack, but maybe it does work. But yeah, this is K-pop hits of 1999. I wonder what's even on here. I should check and see what's on here. But I feel like UMDs. Here's a nice new one that I have. This one has, I think, some unknown J-pop artists on it. But I feel like UMDs were pretty much the evolution. Well, I don't know so much of the evolution because I feel like mini discs were tougher than UMDs. Like I totally feel like like Sony could have repurposed MDs, I think. Speaking of MDs, you guys, I am gonna be putting FX Unit Yuki original soundtrack on UMD. There is a place that makes they put content on UMDs, and basically what happens is like they paint right here. They'll paint like a thing. It comes in like a jewel case and everything. So I'm going to be doing them. They're going to be super limited because they're not cheap to make. So I'm making 10 of them. I'm making 10 FX Unit Yuki OSTs on mini discs. And they are going to be made UMD or mini disc for FX Unit Yuki. But yeah, we're putting the soundtrack on a mini disc. Now, I don't know who has a mini disc. The only one that I know off the top of my head in this SaruPro that has one, I think does Reluctant Hero might have one? Maybe, I don't know. I know X Element X has one, who's in our Discord. Eligos, welcome. How you doing, Eligos? Welcome in. Let's see here. What did I miss? It's pretty expensive nowadays, but I love NHL 07 on the PSP. That would end up being the only NHL game on the PSP, but what's really cool is fans still make custom modern rosters for it to this day. Randrick says, I had a mini disc player back in the day. Problem is Sony app to write music on discs would crash at startup on my PC, so I gave up on it. I never used that. I always just did it the old-fashioned way. I had like a deck, right? And I would just connect like the line in and record. And then when the PS2 came out, it was super cool because I used to connect the PS2 with the optical wire to the back of the mini disc player, and like the mini disc player just knew, like you could put a CD in and it would just do the stop gaps. Like it would just automatically do the stop gaps. If there was any data to be fed, it would feed the data and like label your track as well. It was super cool. I love doing it that way. Was with a PS2 via optical wire to my mini disc deck, and that's how I would record most of my mini discs after the year 2000. But before that, like with this, I would just record track by track, and you had a little dial, and like to do like the lettering, you had to like scroll with the dial, and then you press enter, scroll with the dial, press enter, and you had to do that for every track to name them. Let's see here. Markdale says, I never got into mini disc. I went straight from CD to MP3. Oof. My first MP3 player was a Creative 32 megabyte Creative Labs something or another. It had a camera on it, so it also did video. Horrible quality video, but it was cool. And for its memory, it took compact flash. Do you guys remember compact flash? That was the memory that it took. And that was my first MP3 player, and that would have been 1999 or 2000 maybe. I don't remember, but I ended up going back to mini discs just because it was easier for me at the time. So I went back to the mini disc player for a while until MP3 players got better. Oh boy, my early MP3 players were not great. Yeah, I could nearly copy an entire CD, right, at like 96 kilobytes per second. At 64 kilobytes per second, it sounds like someone is constantly blowing into your ear as you're listening to music. Mini discs were cool though. I absolutely loved mini discs. I wish I still had all of them. I only have a handful of my old ones, which kind of makes me sad. But then we got better phones with higher capacity. Yeah, that's true. Phones did get better, but like there are still benefits to having like a separate player, right? Like there's like high fidelity players that play like FLAC, right? And they have like what do you call that? The output, there's a name for it, that is clear, much clearer than you would get on a phone. So there are still advantages to having like a separate like player in terms of quality. I had an MP3 CD player. Yeah, those were cool too. I remember when those started being a things for cars. I had like some cheap like China deck because it was more affordable than getting some like $400 Pioneer deck for my car. I remember MP3 players thinking they were super cool. Then Apple released the iPod Touch, and I was like, I want that. Lossless, low impedance headphones. It's FLAC is lossless, right? But I forgot what it is. That makes it better for your audio. I don't know. I don't remember. I totally blanked. All right, moving on. We asked you guys. I totally went off topic because of UMDs. I blame UMDs. We started talking about UMDs, and it reminded me of like mini discs, right? And then we went from mini discs to MP3 players. I don't know. We went off the rails completely.
I love those headphones that you put behind your back.
Those Sony ones?
Yeah.
Man, I had like 3 pairs of those. They were so comfortable. Right? Like, I feel like over-the-ear headphones, those were, like, the evolution for, like, over-the-ear headphones. Because they went over your ears, but they stood behind your head. So, like, I could, like, run to the bus and stuff. Like, I used to do that a lot with those headphones. Like, I'd run, like, to the bus or whatever. And they would be fine. Oops. Never mind. I had an iPod. iPizzle. I never had an iPad. I had several Zunes. I'm pretty sure I backed the right horse there. Next, SaruShow, what's your favorite UMD disc design? The glory days for Zune is yet to come.
I had a Zune and it sucked. Every month
it would crash.
Yeah, it would restart. And I'm like, I had to put all my MP3s back, and I'm like...
Yeah. Oh, damn. They would, like, wipe out your library. Oh, that's horrible. That sounds terrible.
I took it to vacation once, and it, right when I, on the road, bam, it restarted the whole thing. Like,
oh, that sucks.
I was so upset.
At that point, just throw it out the window. Because it's, like, useless, right? Until you get home to reset it or whatever. Can I? Yes. I still have my Zune HD, my meth. Can I have my meth in pill form, please? Alright, going back to the weekly question we had asked you guys, what portable do you or did you take with you on summer vacation? I don't know how this evolved into MP3 players and mini disc players, but let's see. Number 2 comes to us from Screw the Net. Screw the Net says, I had the Sega Game Gear from roughly the summer of 1991 or 1992. The following year, I would play Sonic 2 after it released, which I grew to hate because the game cheated on the first boss and was literally unbeatable. My friends or myself, trash game compared to Sonic 1 for my Genesis. Addams Family, another lame game. And this baseball game, which was okay. I had a Spider-Man game, which was very fun. And this Shinobi game, which was super addictive and fun to play. Beat that one once or twice. Always took it on summer vacations to RV parks or water park areas. 1990s forever, says Screw the Net. Very cool. I like that answer. That answer is awesome because I was a Game Gear child. I didn't have a Game Boy. When the Game Boys came out, there was just we couldn't afford it, right? We couldn't afford it. It was just me and my mom. And when I got a Game Gear, I ended up getting it. Like, my mom put some money in. My dad gave me most of the money. I got a Game Gear. The Game Gear was my first portable. But the Game Gear was also torturous because I could not afford to buy alkaline batteries. So I would always buy the heavy-duty batteries. And heavy-duty batteries, at best, could last you an hour depending on the brand. But on average, would be like anywhere between 20 and 30 minutes per pack. So literally, you were paying $1 to play for 30 minutes. So it got really expensive. And I didn't have the adapter. I wouldn't get the adapter until sometime later. And then later on, when I did get the adapter, I would play, games to completion. I had Streets of Rage 1. I had Shinobi. I had Psychic World. Oh, such a good game. That was actually one of my first ones. Was is it called Psychic World or Psycho World? I think they changed it for the Game Gear to Psychic World. I still have it. I still have all my Game Gear games. No, not all of them. I think I don't have Streets of Rage. I'm missing some. And I did buy some new ones along the way because I have a rare Game Gear up there. But I love this answer only because the Game Gear speaks to me. I can't believe you didn't like Sonic 2 in the Game Gear though. Screw the net. It's good. I like it. Actually, are we listening to Sonic 2? What are we listening to? Oh, Sonic Advance 2.
I can find the Game Gear version.
All right. Let's see. Banky says capitalism. Oh, with the batteries. Was the Game Gear cheaper than the Game Boy? No, it was more expensive. But it came out later, at a point in time where like I could actually get one. But when the Game Boys came out, the Game Boy came out like 2 years before the Game Gear did. So, and I really, really wanted a portable, and like the Game Gear was just like, I don't know. I really wanted a Turbo Express, but there was no way I was gonna get. They were like $400, so like completely unaffordable. So the next best thing was the Game Gear. But man, I love the Game Gear. I loved it a lot. I would say I ended up getting maybe like a dozen games for it all together during the time that I had it, and I loved it. Even though the screen wasn't the best, it was cool. For its time, it was really nice. It was really good. Sonic 2 on the Game Gear was rough. It frustrated me mucho back in the day. It was hard. It was hard. You know what made Sonic 2 so hard on the Game Gear is the limited screen visibility. The screen visibility was rough on that game because Sonic was like a fucking, like, he was like 32 by 32 pixels, and like the resolution was like 140 by who knows what, right? It was like crazy small compared to like on the Genesis. So you have Genesis size Sonic running around on a screen that's half the size. So like you would run and just run into shit. You'd crash into shit all the time. There was always shit right. You didn't have enough time to react. And I think that was one of the hard parts about Sonic, is that you didn't have enough time to react. The refresh rate on the Game Gear screen was bad because that was just the technology back then. So you really couldn't, not only could you not see what was coming because of the short distance visibility, you couldn't see because the screen blur was not terrible, but it was not good. So things would just like, before you knew it, you were already dead. So it was a frustrating experience on the Game Gear, but it was still cool. It was still cool for what it was, and you had Sonic 2 on the go in a unique version, because like the Game Gear versions are different than the Genesis versions of the game. So you got like different soundtracks and everything. It was cool. I liked the experience, other than it was frustratingly hard. I prefer Ristar on the Game Gear than Sonic, says Banky Aoshi. Yeah, I would say Ristar was more fun because it was much slower paced, you know, so you can see where you're going. Another frustrating experience with Mega Man on the Game Gear was frustrating also, because the screen would do this like weird like rubber band. Like there would be like rubber banding when you would move like left and right. And it was kind of like, kind of headache. Shell, what's up, Shell? I didn't even notice you came here. What is up? Welcome in. Shell says, yeah, GG was cool when it came out. Shell says, yeah, well, the GB was not that super great when it came to batteries back then. But I guess it was the best of the pick. You know what really sucked about the Game Boy, though, is its absolutely terrible visibility, and the screen blur was so bad. I remember trying to play Mario, on it. My friend had Mario on it. I remember trying to play it, and it was like, this is unplayable. But like I would imagine for anyone who had one back then. Oh my gosh, look at all those gift subs. Matthew. Sorry, I'm talking at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Matthew, thank you. So soda's more porous. Matthew.
Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you so much for all those gift subs. Matthew gifted 5 memberships to the Saru Moji Club, to Sweet Like Sugar, Inu Base, Brandon Wallace, Gion DP, and Merox75. Thank you so much, Matthew. I appreciate it, Matthew, with the generosity tonight and the very generous donation. Thank you so much, you and Mark Dell. I really appreciate it, you guys. Seriously awesome. Let's see here. Nice math, says Mr. Roach. It says Shell. Roachy for the win, says Sasquatch. Thank you so much, Matthew. I appreciate it. GT Beakerman says OG Game Boy was just for Tetris. Yeah, for reals.
And Zelda.
And Zelda. I didn't. I did end up when the Game Boy Colors came out. The Game Boy Color was my first Game Boy. Or the Game Boy Colors. I remember I had bought not matching, but I bought the clear one and the purple one because at the time, me and my partner at that time were thinking about getting into Pokemon. So I got the transparent purple Game Boy Color with Pokemon Blue, and I bought him the solid purple with Pokemon Red at the time. And I remember I got that. I got a game called Power Quest, which was like a fighter. And then I bought Kirby 2, which was like the regular Game Boy game. I loved it so much. Those were my starter games. FX Yuki for Game Gear, says Matthew Roach. That would be so cool, right? But yeah, I don't think that would ever happen. Hey, at least there's a Game Boy Yuki is coming. Game Boy Yuki is coming.
I remember going to Mexico when I was little to Tijuana.
Yeah.
And I had a Game Boy, but no light. So my mom had a flashlight. I'd be playing my game show while she had the flashlight on the Game Boy.
The car?
The car, yeah. And
I was like, man!
Like, don't move! I must have been like 8 or 9. She would hold it while I play games.
If I had ever asked my mom to do something like that, she would have slapped me in the face so hard. So, very cool of your mom. Yeah, if I would have ever asked my mom, can you hold the flashlight so I can play my Game Boy in the car? Dude, she would have ripped all my hair out. Seriously. Let's see here. Mackenzie says, I hate saying this, but I think the Game Boy was really popular because it was the cheapest one in the market that wasn't Tiger Games. It also had many games for the Nintendo locked developers down to GB only. Yes, so that was a big thing. That was still during the video game monopoly times, right? Of Nintendo. Nintendo really had that monopoly stronghold here in North America when it came to producing games. That's why in Japan there were always more games for everything, right? For every console, there were always more games at that time. PC Engine, Mark III, Game Gear, any of that stuff, there were always more consoles because those laws didn't apply to them in Japan like they did here with how they had the contracts, right? Legally binding contracts with developers. They were really tough. Nintendo had a lot of very stringent rules as well. So yeah, it was a crazy time in North America for video games and video game libraries for anything that wasn't Nintendo. But I think also the reason why the Game Boy was super popular is one, it had Tetris, right? Tetris was a mind-blowing revolution, to video games, in terms of puzzle games, addictiveness, portability. It basically checked off all the boxes for success. Another thing that's strong, there was a strong start for Nintendo was that the Game Boy released 2 years before anything else, right? Before the Lynx, before the Game Gear, before the Turbo Express. So, it was ahead. It had its foot in the door in the portable market. So clearly it was bound to be the most popular one. No Sega Nomad. Ooh, I had a Sega Nomad. I had bought one for like $99 at Electronics Boutique. Dude, it was awesome. It was awesome. Shell says, yeah, Tetris and Mario Land, I guess. Yeah, but mostly like Tetris, right? Like everyone wanted a Game Boy for Tetris. Matthew says it was Tetris that sold the Game Boy, for reals. And they made it a pack-in game, so it was a no-brainer. And everybody played Tetris. It wasn't just kids who were playing Tetris. It was businessmen, it was moms, everyone just really, really got into it. It was just a thing. Look at all those hearts. Yes, go crazy with those hearts, you guys. Go crazy with that shit. Shout says, later on, the PS Vita was great handheld, by the way. Oh my god, yes. The PlayStation Vita was absolutely amazing. Sadly, a console that was abandoned by its parent company way too soon. Thankfully, the fans kept the Vita alive because the Vita is still awesome to this day. Famicom Collector says Hatris is superior. Oh, Hatris. Hatris. Hatris is, it was special. It was very special. Let me see if I missed anything further up, you guys, really quick here. Mackenzie says, Sarumaru, I had my uncle's passed down Game Boy, and I remember he told me how he wanted a Game Gear so badly, but it was too expensive, so my grandma got him a Game Boy. It was either Game Boy or Tiger Games. Dude, those Tiger Games were shit. I had one of them, and they were so garbage, so trash. Let's see here. Yeah, well, the Game Boy was not super great. Okay, I'm caught up. I am caught up. I had a Genesis that was good enough for me, says Sweet Like Sugar. Yeah, for me, the Game Gear was my only portable until 1998, I believe, when I got Game Boy Colors. 1998 was when they were out with Pokemon. But I wouldn't get another portable for so many years. So many years that I didn't get a portable. And then after that, I got a neo-geo Pocket. And then when the neo-geo Pocket came out, I reluctantly bought a neo-geo Pocket that didn't get a whole lot of play. I had King of Fighters R2, which I still had. I barely bought any neo-geo Pocket games. I bought King of Fighters R2, and then I only just a few years ago bought another game. But sadly, I didn't have a whole lot. I didn't have a whole lot of Neo Geo Pocket games. My Neo Geo Pocket barely got any play. I still have my original Neo Geo Pocket Color from NCSX, and it is in immaculate condition because it basically sat in a box forever. It sat in a box in Colorado for years. Finally, my brother brought it to me, but my Neo Geo Pocket Color is like in perfect condition. But I guess I have my brother to thank for that, because it stayed in his garage forever. Get a flash card for the Neo Geo Pocket. Yeah, that might be. I kind of want to maybe mod it and get a flash card. That might be cool, right? But I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like that's a waste of time. Who needs to get that when I've got this, you know? This has a way better screen already. This plays everything. I'm pretty sure it already has, like, Neo Geo Pocket Color games on it. It's like, nowadays it's like too much effort. I feel like it's not even worth the effort. It's not even worth the effort to, like, mod and do all this junk when you have things like look at this screen. That's so badass. So this was given to me by Mark Dell. Look what I was playing. I was playing Star Pro here on it, and it plays surprisingly well. Oh no, what happened? Oh, I exited out of the game. Oops. That's what I was playing last. It remembers what you were last playing. And I was playing whatchamacallit. What the hell? Why? These are all the favorites, by the way. Bubsy is in the favorites. But yeah, I was playing Star Parody on it. Dude, this thing is so nice. I absolutely love this portable. And for me, it's perfect because, I mean, I don't really play, like, I only want to play, like, the old stuff, right? Like, I only want to play, like, the 16-bit. I want to do my PC engines, my blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Oops, I went back to my game. Hold on, let me exit out. Games, really quick. I just want to see. Neo Geo Pocket. Yeah. Look at this. Why would I even bother with a flash card when I can just play? You know what? I'm going to take this screen protector off. Look at this. Look at this screen, you guys. Look at this beautifulness.
Alberto's here.
Alberto, ¿qué onda? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenido, Alberto. ¿Qué tal? Rugrats, dice Alberto. ¿Lo vas a traer a CDMX? ¿Esta cosa? Sí. Esto es lo que voy a traer para jugar en el avión o cuando voy en el autobús a algún lugar. Porque queremos ir a Puebla otra vez. Tal vez vamos. Y me llevo esto para el bus. Para el autobús. But yeah, look at this freaking thing, man. Why would I even... I feel like it makes it pointless, right? Like, why would I even bother with a flash card? When I can play this, emulation is like 100%. This screen is absolutely gorgeous. I feel like there's no point. Oh my god, look how cute! Yeah. There we go. Look how cool this is. I love this game, by the way. Love it. I never owned it. It's called Gekka no Kenshi, or Last Blade here. This game is so good! Anyhow, yeah, I'm not gonna bother. I wouldn't bother with any wooden flashcards. I might just sell off all those my old portables. I feel like they're just sitting in boxes for nothing. For nothing. I love how good it is just to shut off and come back right back. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was playing Star Parody, and like the Miu remembers like a bunch of games that you play, because you can go back to your game and remembers like it. So it's not like you can play one game and you go back to it. Like it remembers like not all the games, but like your recent games. Put them on Whatnot. Yeah, I should put the. I'm thinking about maybe putting the Neo-Geo Pocket and the Wonder Swan, because I don't play this stuff anymore, you know. And they're in like perfect condition. I don't really have any nostalgia for them. The Neo-Geo Pocket, I do, but like I don't want to keep it around. Just this is my original one from. Well, my original color. I also had a silver, black, and white one. Back then, I was obsessed with, like, anything that was silver, I would get it. Or white. Silver and white were my favorite. So I had a silver regular pocket, and I loaned it to my friend, and he cracked the screen, like, right in half. So then I bought this. When these came out, I bought this one from NCSX. This is the North American release, I think, or the international. I don't know. Whatever the hell NCSX had at the time. It's not like the Japanese one. It was whatever the international release was. And this one also came from NCSX also. This one is kind of beat up, or not beat up, but like the box, you can tell it's got like some shit on it. But they barely got any play. I have a bunch of games. I have more games for the Wonder Swan, but I didn't really play it a lot. Emulation isn't super great with it usually because of the weird frame rate. For which one? Oh, for Wonder Swan? Yeah, the Wonder Swan is... I ended up buying more games from the Wonder Swan, I think because it was a more unique experience when it came to playing games. Because the Wonder Swan, you got to play it... you can play it in Tate mode. Man, I can't believe I still have all the shit in here for this thing. My screen is a little scratchy. Oh my god, that battery! Give me 1 second, let me make sure. Oh my god, they don't even sell these ever-ready batteries anymore. Please don't. I hope it didn't leak all over my Wonder Swan. I'm so scared. Hold on.
Oh no, I think I see some.
Oh no, I think it's fused. Hold on. Yeah, this battery is totally dead too. This has a release. The battery pack is like fused. It's like fused into the thing. Oh no. Hopefully it didn't like leak everywhere. It's crazy that, like, this is what brought me to finally check this. Look at this battery! Like, do you remember do they still even make ever-ready batteries? Do you guys remember this brand? Is that still a thing? WD-40? The heck out of it. Just drown it. Yeah, I do have WD-40. I think it's just in the battery contents.
Let's see.
Contacts. The battery release isn't working. It's like not letting me get the battery out. It's like stuck. It's like, why are you so stuck?
Jesus, is that from the 60s? She's marked out.
It's from like 2000, I guess. I don't like around that time. I would guess. There's no date on this battery. It doesn't. It looks like, I don't know if it's leaking. It might be leaking. Hopefully it's not. I live in a dry climate. So maybe it's not. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I can't even get the battery out. Acá todavía venden las Ever-Ready, las Rocket. ¿En serio? Aquí ya no. Aquí creo que en esa época de esa batería es del 2000 o del 2003, por ahí, por ese tiempo. Por ese tiempo. Look at all those hearts. Yes. Tap on them hearts. Tap them good. Use pliers gently, says Screw the Net. What's up, Screw the Net? I just read yours. We were talking about your answer for the longest time because Game Gear, and I had a Game Gear. It resonated. It resonated with me. Alberto dice sí está impresionante. Oh, el mío está chidísimo. Y por eso el mío que tengo yo me lo regaló Mark Dell. Pero creo que son como $60, algo así. Por esos. Pero está bien chido. Super chido. Super chido. Omar Fernandez says hi. What's up, Omar? Welcome in. Sula Sure says mini pocket knife might help too. Oh yeah. You want to use that thing? Remember the thing that Sweets got us? Jesse keeps moving it.
I used it yesterday for.
Jesse will use it for like the whatnot stuff. So it's come in handy. He uses it for all of our shipping stuff. Ever-ready batteries were everywhere in the 80s and 90s. I still find them in little emergency kits in my house sometimes. Do they still make them? Tobeder was saying that in Mexico you can still get ever-ready batteries. I haven't seen ever-ready batteries, so I don't know. If Saru had a neo-geo X Gold handheld and tried to sell it, no one would buy that. Actually, I think people would. People want them for some strange reason. I guess because it says neo-geo and it was technically an official product. It was an officially licensed product, but so people want them.
I don't want to scratch it. But look, you press it down, you gotta push it. See, it's almost out.
I know, that's what I've been doing.
I got it somewhat. Let's get a hammer.
Yeah, you have to press it. So this is the release, right? You push this down, and it should just slide out. But it's not sliding out.
Here, I have an idea. I'm gonna get a tooth.
Oh, I got it. Got it. All right. Let's see. Oh my God, that was like, you know, it's not leaking. Surprisingly. I don't know when the last time I even opened this was.
Ever-ready batteries are on sale on Amazon. So that's real sugar.
Ah, okay, so they still make them, huh? Interesting.
What's the date on it?
The date is December 2013. So that would have been 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I guess I popped in a battery.
Or even longer, because usually when you buy batteries, you know, they take like 2 or 3 years to expire.
Oh, it's possible. It's possible, but let's take it out. Let's take it out. Yeah, I hadn't taken... Like, my screen is a little scratchy. It's not too bad, though. But the cool thing about the Wonder Swan is its ability to play it like this. So, like, there were, like, some, like, shmups. There was an RPG, I think, that I also played like this. But it was a unique experience. You could even take your Wonder Swan and get on the internet with it, with your Docomo... your Sanyo Docomo phone. NTT Docomo. So, yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Never heard of Tommy Pickles. What? Está interesante esa idea del Wonder Swan. Poderlo jugar en tate horizontal. Sí, está chido esa la idea de eso. Fitting name for Wonder Swan was Gunpei Yokoi's last handheld ever made before he tragically lost his life in the car accident. Yeah, I know, because, like, how did he die? Like, didn't he get out, like, there was an accident in front of him, he got out to help people, and then, like, people ran him over, right? Off the side of the road. Scruffy Looking RGB is here. What's up, Scruffy Looking RGB? Scruffy says, hey, guys, did you find the battery unlock switch on the Wonder Swan? I don't know how many times I forgot about that switch. Yeah. I think it was locked. Because I got it out with little ease. Let's see here. Still remember when Scruffy bought a Wonder Swan. Yeah, so thankfully the battery didn't like leak everywhere because I had I forgot about that. Ooh, you know what? Oh, the... Let me check my neo-geo pocket, guys. Now I'm scared. I'm scared. Let me make sure that... Because that one takes 2 batteries. Another cool thing about the Wonder Swan is that it took 1 battery, and the battery lasted for fucking ever. Who has a Wonder Swan? So the Wonder Swan batteries last like a crazy long time. You're like, how the fuck? Hold on. I'm like bending all the paperwork here. Like some sort of Brutus. I still have all... Oh, this is Gundam Seed. I need to see where that's at. This doesn't belong here. These are all my game Anketo.
So I should turn into handheld maintenance stream. So I should go says, I blame Mark. Mark Dell says, haha.
Now, I think it's a good thing that I checked, though. Because that battery has been in there for over 10 years. Alright, I'm afraid to open the neo-geo pocket. It's knowing me, I left these batteries in there. Let's see. Dude, my neo-geo pocket is still in really good shape for the most part. Screen's got just like a couple light scratches. King of Fighters? No, Metal Slug. Oh, Metal Slug! My Metal Slug first mission is in there. I've long since lost this box, I think. For Metal Slug.
My favorite SaruShow so far. More portables. Next, let's pull apart some handhelds and check the capacitors.
Yeah. Let's see if oh, there are batteries in here. We have some Sunbeam batteries. No. So, no, these I don't think these are old. Because I think these Sunbeam ones are fairly newish. Yeah, they're fine. They're good. Is there still, does it still work? Oh, we still got power. But you can't see shit. Check it out. Yeah, this one I think I played it in the last few years. It's so cool. Everything still works. Yep, everything still works. Where's all the things on this thing?
Let's check the USB batteries next.
Everything works. It still works.
Don't leave them in. Yeah, you take them out.
Should I? But they work.
But in the next 5 years, you're gonna be like, wait.
I'll leave them in. Because I feel like maybe I'll play it. Maybe.
Alright.
Maybe.
In about 5 years, we're gonna come back to it and it's gonna be done. You're gonna be like, oh
no! Ugh. Yes.
It stinks.
Just strong, like.
Start replacing the capacities on stream would give me anxiety. I should probably take the batteries out of my 3DS handhelds.
I can't close this box. There we go. There we go.
I've had PSP batteries swell up. Oh, ours too. Remember we had one?
We had one PSP where the battery's all puffy. It's all red and puffy from being punched in the butt. Let's check all the handhelds batteries. I think that's it. Those are the only things that have batteries.
Mark goes, hey Siri, remind me in 5 years to ask Saru to check the batteries.
The only other thing I have is the PC Engine GT, but that one's batteries are like maybe a year old in there. So I'm not too worried about that one. Because I'll regularly check the GT. When I say regularly, like once a year maybe. Actually, no, those batteries have been there since 2019. Now that I think about it. Yeah, these batteries they're going to be Sunbeam also, I think. Oh no, these are batteries. These are Japanese batteries. Yeah, this was from 2019. Look at all the batteries this fucker took. The Game Gear was the same. The Game Gear took like 6 batteries as well. So yeah, these are the batteries that I got in Japan, I think. Because they are in Japanese. Japanese. I remember, I think I took this with me to Japan to test games or something, right? Is that why we had batteries in here? Yeah, I think this came with me. I think this came with me to Japan. To Japan. Oh yeah. So many weird handhelds. So many weird handhelds. Here's the GT. Oh yeah, I figured this game's broken. This game's broken. It was March and Maze. And then I got this weird thing from Japan. Also has Japanese batteries in it. Oh shit.
Those are...
I forgot this thing. I did a video on this, remember? With the batteries popping out.
But I was like, oh no. Don't do that.
Yep. Okay, I gotta hold it. Otherwise they're gonna shoot out right into my face. This is a cool little portable also. But here, let's talk about these after. Let's get through the question. We only read 2 questions. We've already been talking for an hour and 20 minutes. Hey, this is an involved subject, right? I think everyone's into it. Everyone's into tonight's subject. Very cool. All right, let's see here. Makes me a little sad just how many portable systems were in the market back in the day. I wish they were all successful, but I guess Nintendo has always been king of the hill for handhelds for a reason. Yeah, because they were the video game mafia. Saru and Jesse live near nuclear test sites. Batteries charge on their own for some reason. Did you recap your GT yet? No, it's not recapped or anything. This is all stock. It's all completely stock. But yeah, it could use a recap for sure. I don't really play this often for that very same reason, because I don't know if it's like bleeding on the inside, so I try not to play it for that reason. But I mean, once capacitors are leaking, they keep leaking anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's just it'll eventually just die. No, I should get that repaired sometime. I should get those caps changed at some point. Sure, then it says the video game mafia, Nintendo do it. I doubt. What are we talking about? Oh, theory, but I believe Sony will make a portable home system hybrid for the PS5. I think portable hybrid consoles are the future. The future! Yeah, and then Sony will just abandon it, just like they abandoned the PS Vita. I'm not bitter! Dude, I loved the Vita when it first came out. And then, like, I got, like, the Vita TVs and 2 different Vitas. Like, Sony's portables. I bought so many of the Sony portables. Oh, put this away, please. It's like super warm now.
Wow. No, just setting it to the leak.
All right. Getting to our weekly question. We had asked you guys, what portable do you or did you take with you on summer vacation? Number 3 comes to us from Brian Trusty. Brian Trusty says, the Sega Game Gear. My parents bought me my Game Gear out of nowhere once. It wasn't my birthday or Christmas, so I was so shocked when they handed me that box that included the pack in Sonic 2. My mom gifted me with the Genesis not long before, so she knew I was quickly becoming a Sonic fan. Not only did I get the pack in game, but I soon after received Sonic Drift 2, becoming another favorite of mine. So many great moments with this handheld, and with so many solid games to play. With the battery pack, the car charger in stow, I ended up taking it on every trip we went on during my childhood, and I loved every bit of gameplay joy it brought. The Sega Game Gear is simply good gaming at its best. So he also has good memories with their Game Gear. I think for everyone who had a Game Gear, I think most people had fairly positive memories. Though I think Screw the Net's memories seemed like they were mixed. He was like, fuck Sonic! And we talked about why Sonic was so hard. You know, like the screen resolution and blah, blah, blah. It was crazy. Wait, Trusty likes Sonic? Shocking news. Yeah. Hated Sonic 2. Yeah, Sonic 2, I had a love-hate for Sonic 2. We talked about it in length. I think before you came, we talked about it. Like, the screen draw distance was so short because Sonic was so big, you know, and the screen blur also made it really hard to play, blah, blah, blah. I had a Game Gear pretty early, but I never fell for that or the Lynx. I wanted a Lynx at some point. because it was the only console that had arcade version of Toki, and I loved Toki in the arcade. Toki is the game. You're like a gorilla that shoots like fireballs out of his mouth. It was a fun game. Oh, I see oatmeal cookies. I had a link, says Randrake. I always wanted one just for one game. Obviously, I never got the links. I still would want one, but it's kind of hard to justify getting it for just Toki. But Toki goes ape spit. Instinctively, I read that as ape shit. I had Ninja Gaiden and a few other titles. Ninja Gaiden was weird on it. Oh, you know what other game I had? For very short, before I stopped playing the Game Gear because it broke, was the Castlevania type game for the Game Gear. That one as well. I forgot what it was called. I didn't get much into it at the time because shortly after that my Game Gear went kaput. My mom took it to a pawn shop. The pawn shop broke it, and my mom went and paid money to get it out just to find out that it was broken, and they wouldn't refund her for it. But at some point somebody in the pawn shop broke it. I assume they were probably trying to play Columns or something, and they connected the wrong AC adapter and probably fried it. But they still let my mom pay for it to get it out. And I remember they were acting so suspiciously too when we came to get it. But yeah, my mom pawned it, and they broke it. They broke it. I remember being so sad too. Cause like it was paid for, like my mom paid some money into it, but like my dad, you know, he would give me like Christmas and birthday money. So, it went towards that. I used to push like shopping carts around to try to get the Game Gear. I remember pushing so many shopping carts those years. Like 2 or 3 years I used to push shopping carts for quarters. And I did it for a long time. Until the security guard that worked at the supermarket got fired, and then I stopped doing it because they wouldn't let me do it anymore. But I used to push. There was a Vons near my junior high school, and I used to go after school and just push. I would take people's carts back for the quarters, and I would do that every single day and just save all the quarters. And that would go towards stuff in junior high school. Like it went towards my TurboGrafx fund. It went for part of my Game Gear. It would go like towards games. I used to push carts all the time. That's child labor. It is, but it was like an under the table kind of thing. So like, but yeah, that's totally child labor. But it wasn't like I didn't do it for the supermarket. It was you ever seen those like redemption like? You'd have to pay a quarter to get a cart out. When you bring it back, you get the quarter back. A lot of times people didn't want to take their carts back, so I would take it back and get that quarter for it. And I would always just go up to the people and be like, I can take that back for you. And people would just be like, yeah, whatever, you know, and get in their cars and leave. They wouldn't even make eye contact with me. They'd just give me their card. I didn't give a shit. I would take their card back for a quarter. At the end of the day, I'd get like $10, $5, $10. It depended on how many carts I could do. Hey, Saru, do you have any memories of linking a neo-geo Pocket or Pocket Color to the Sega Dreamcast? If so, what was it like? Was it like a predecessor to the GBA link cable for the GameCube? I don't know. I never did it. I always wanted to for I think the King of Fighters R2 had a thing, and there was a cable. I never bought the cable. Even though I did have King of Fighters R2, I just never did it, sadly. I wish I had done it. I wish I had gotten that Dreamcast cable. Alright. Let me go to... There's the Gleam link, by the way, you guys. Jesse posted it. Go ahead and click on that. You can get a chance to win some stuff in the Gachapon. It's free. It's free! Alright. Number 4. Number 4 comes to us from Sweet Like Sugar. We had asked you guys, what is the portable that you took with you? Or take with you when you go on vacation. Sweet Like Sugar says, I like to take my Retroid Pocket with me on trips. It's small and light and can play everything up to Dreamcast. Sometimes I like to take my DS or 3DS with me and a handful of games, but only if I'm driving somewhere, as I don't want to lose them or have them get damaged. On occasion, I will bring my small 8-bit DOE controller and use it with my Surface Pro for some retro gaming, which works well on a plane. I have recently ordered the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus with a metal case. I'm looking forward to PSP, PS2, and GameCube gaming on my future adventure set. Sweet like sugar. Very cool. That's awesome. Miu Mini, is it any good? It's awesome. I had the Miu Mini Plus courtesy of Mark Dell. This thing is amazing.
It's mine.
I love it. You shut up. I love it. It feels good. Like the quality of the shell, like it feels like premium plastic too. It feels like the shell is much nicer plastic. Hello, Jesse. Eating chip. No, get out of here with your Cheeto fingers. This thing is like beautiful white and pristine. I put some other music. I'm
using my left hand.
Because you have Cheeto fingers?
Yeah.
You and your Cheeto fingers. Do you want to wet wipe me?
No, I got it. Don't worry about it. Thank you, though.
All right. Next one comes to us from Randrick. We'd ask you guys what your favorite portable is to take with you on the go. Randrick says, during my last trip to Japan, I brought my Switch with me, but next time I travel, it will be my Evercade portable console. I like playing pick-up and play games during travel. Nothing too complex like JRPG or story-focused games, says Randrick. Very cool. Which Evercade? The original one? The only thing I don't like about the Evercade is it's the screen. I feel like the screen that they used was shitty. But like some people are changing it for like PSP screens.
Matthew just linked the link for when you opened up the Miu Mini.
Oh, did he? Yeah, click on that link. It's hilarious. That's the link to the Miu Mini.
Any suggestions on games on Game Boy game music?
Yeah. Do you guys have any portable soundtrack? But yeah, here's the Evercade. It's kind of cool. The only thing, like I said, is a miss in my opinion is the screen. I think the screen is kind of a poo poo. It's a bit of a poo poo.
It says Mario music. Okay.
Also,
since she was first.
The buttons on it kind of feel well, these buttons are nice, but the start, select, and menu buttons are all kind of, and the D-pad kind of feels, and the trigger buttons kind of feel, but it was their first endeavor, so it's all kind of like that, like cheap China plastic. Evercade EXP is awesome. Oh, is that what you got? The EXP? Yeah, that one looks badass. I wanted one, but I couldn't justify getting it. Because I would probably never play it, but I did. I was very curious about the Evercade EXP, but I have the VS, so I'm more than likely gonna play it on console more than anything. Speaking of which, I need to do another Evercade stream at some point. Wait, just type in Super Mario Land.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, that way you don't have to like sift around for it. They aren't cheap, but they are super cool. Just for the tate. For the Tate. Give me that Tate. Punch me right in the Tate. I bought all of the colors of the Miu Mini Plus. Says Mark, can you scroll up?
Better.
Yeah, scroll up a bit. I bought all the colors of the Miu Mini, and the other colors have different feel and finish. Oh, do they? Interesting. Taste? The Evercade? Give it a lick. How does it taste like? Let's see here. Taste the rainbow. The new Evercade is way better. Yeah, it looks nice. Just like some like arranged Marios. Do. They aren't cheap, but they're super cool. The Evercade is better than the Miu Mini. I mean, they're different, right? Because the experience is different. Because even though they're both like emulation consoles, the Evercade EXP focuses on the actual like handheld game feel with collectability. Also, it's probably ergonomically better. I honestly don't have any. This feels really good in my hands. I think the big part is being able to wedge your fingers on this curve here because the buttons curve on the Miu Mini Plus. This is my favorite feature of this, because the other ones, like the Ambernick or whatever, they're like in a straight line, and it feels gross. It feels gross, like they're like jabby back here. I don't remember, somebody I knew had one. Who came over with one? Somebody came over with the Ambernick, and it was kind of jabby. It was very jabby in the corners. But this one is not. This one feels perfect. PSL grips for the Miyu. I have kind of small hands. For me, it's an absolutely perfect fit. For me, it feels great. It feels good. My hands hug the console really well, and it feels good. It doesn't feel cramped. Like if I had the smaller one, it would be cramped. But this one is like the perfect size, and it feels good. Like the finish of the plastic is good. It doesn't have like. Take the Evercade for example. Like the Evercade has like this like really like kind of cheap PVC feel for the old one. And this one has like a really smooth, soft, kind of matte finish. I don't. It just feels good. It feels nice. Feels nice. This here. The D-pad also feels like a Super Nintendo D-pad. Like they got it right. It feels good. Feels good. D-pad feels good. Buttons are good. Everything is springy and reactive. Let's see here. Miu screen is so much better than the old Evercade. Oh yeah, dude, the old Evercade screen in general is just not good. All right, getting back to the question here. What are you doing? What are you doing? What is this? What is Jesse doing? Look at this. What is the why? He's making me like cheese and crackers. And then
you should be grateful.
And then he sticks a Cheeto on it. What the hell? I should be grateful.
Oh hell!
Alright, let's see here. Mackenzie says, hey Saru, I'm not sure if you are into obscure handhelds from the 90s, but what if I told you there was a handheld that had two names? The Mega Duck and the Cougar Boy. Mega Duck.
Eat it. It's gonna fall.
Why is it sticking on? That actually kind of scares me that it's like so stuck on that.
It's gonna fall.
Why are you holding it like that?
I don't know.
Why are you even doing it?
Eat it. Who wants Sarah to eat it?
I don't want to eat it. It looks weird.
Just eat it.
No.
Just put it in your mouth.
No! I want a Mega Duck, says Mark Doe. Mega Duck. I never heard it called anything else.
Jesse, why?
I want a Mega Duck. What is a Mega Duck? It's like an old portable? Mega Duck. That needs to be a game.
Press 1 if you want Sarah to eat it.
Press 2 if you want Mega Duck. Alright, next one comes to us from Matthew. Matthew's answer to the portable that he took with him on vacations. He says, when I was a kid, I would take my Game Boy with me on summer vacations where I would play Tetris, Super Mario World 2, and Link's Awakening during the 2000s. I would take my PSP first gen with stacks of UMD to play in the car and in the hotel room where Wipeout Pure, Luminous, and Coded Arms were my favorite to play. What is Coded Arms? I've never heard of that. What is that? I am curious. Curious-oo. Very cool. I like that answer as well. Dude, the PSP went with me so many places. I've had like 4 PSPs. I've had so many PSPs. Or 5. I've had 5 PSPs. Because I got like the newer one, and then I gave one to my mom, and I gave one to my sister, and then my mom pawned both of them. And then I bought a white one, and I bought an Australian one, a blue Australian one. I don't have the back because the battery popped out of it. It like inflated, and it popped out. So the back is somewhere in this house. I don't know where, but it's got to be here somewhere. But this one is my terribly overpriced Australian PSP. I say terribly overpriced because everything in Australia is so stupidly expensive. It was like 300 Australian to get this PSP, and it came with a shitty Harry Potter game that totally sucked ass. Mew Mini Plus or Ambernic RG35XX? Which one is better, you guys? I would say the Mew Mini Plus is better if you're going to use it primarily as a portable device. Get the Mew Mini Plus. If you want to do like HDMI out, I guess you can get the Ambernic RG35XX. I think that's the only positive that I can think of for the RG35XX is that it has HDMI out, but it doesn't even do HDMI out well. It does HDMI out in forced widescreen. So like for me, that's not even like a feature because I wouldn't want to play my retro 4x3 games in widescreen. It looks gross. So I still say this is the more quality device. Another difference between the Ambernic RG35XX is the battery. The Mew Mini Plus, you can actually take the battery out and replace it should the battery go bad at any point in time. Oh, this thing is super tight. I don't want to try to open it because I feel like I'm just going to unnecessary wear and tear. But you can open this and you can take the battery out. It is hooked up just by like this little clip that goes through like two little cables. So the battery... You excited? The battery comes out easy. You can replace it if need be. With the Ambernic RG35XX, you can replace the battery, but you have to open it to do so because there's no flap. It's behind the plastic. So if whatever reason you need to replace the battery, you have to open it and you can replace it that way. But honestly, between these affordable micro handhelds, between the Mew Mini Plus and the Ambernic RG35XX, I would go with the Mew Mini Plus. I think it's just the better device in general. But like I said, if you want like dirty HDMI out, quick and dirty, right? Quick and dirty. That's what I like to call those HDMI solutions that are not well thought out. Is quick and dirty HDMI out. The Ambernic RG35XX is the good choice. Like, say you go and you want to like connect it to your hotel TV and you wanted to play on your TV, the RG35XX serves that purpose. But like I said, it's forced 16:9 with it. So if you don't care about aspect ratios, then that might be the one to get. I do. I'm bothered by everyone's like stretched faces, so I don't like it. Let's see here. PSP Go definitely had a better life as a hacked device. I never hacked mine. Mine is still using stock stuff, and I have Ys 1 and 2 on it. That's the only digital game I think that I downloaded that I bought on it is Ys Chronicles. But yeah, my PSP, I wonder if my battery is still... Yeah, my PSP, my Go is dead. I should charge it. I feel like it's been dead for a long time. It uses that same stupid cable that the Vita uses to charge, that like weird proprietary cable. But man, such a cool device though, like the PSP Go. But I honestly hate how it plays anything. Like, games feel disgusting on it. Like, the D-pad is gross on it. I feel like they just didn't have room, right? So there's no real spring to it because it's so flat. It's so flat to it. So like, don't go playing Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max on this because you're not gonna be able to throw a Hadouken to save your life on this thing. Hadouken, or your Shoryukens. You can't throw any Shoryukens, or you can't do any Shoryukens or throw Hadoukens without a lot of frustration. But yeah, it's a sexy device though. Hey, you want to make some more fucking noise, Jesse? Jesus. You want to shut the fuck up?
Eat your cracker and Cheeto before I eat it.
Just eat it.
Just eat it.
It's weird. Oh, you already ate it.
I already ate it. Yeah.
You can get a USB adapter for that weird cable. Oh, really?
Eat it.
That's cool. Maybe I'll get one because I always misplace it. I have like 3 of those cables. Because I have the one that came with the Go. I have the one that came with the PS Vita first gen. And then I bought a third-party one. I've lost all 3 of them. They're stupid. They should have just used micro USB from the get-go. Stupid Sony trying to... With their proprietary shit. That's what killed the Vita, in my opinion. Is all this proprietary crap. Matthew Kelly, welcome in. How you doing? Matthew Kelly says, question for Sarumaru. Did you see McDonald's have put up their new Game Boy Color game on their official website that is part of celebrating Grimace's birthday? I did, actually. I think I followed the dev on Twitter as well. They used Game Boy Studio to help make it. Game Boy Studio and some other platforming Game Boy engine as well to make that game. It's impressive. Like, it looks good. The game has like parallax. It's nice. The game looks nice. And it's a free game, and Grimace's birthday works on your real Game Boy if you have like an EverDrive or something like that. Or somebody's probably going to make Chinese carts of it. I'm sure we're gonna see bootlegs of that soon because they work on actual boards, so you can put them in your actual Game Boy. Oh, was it Grimace's birthday? That's why. Neat. Game Boy 20th Anniversary 2. Both are retro now. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, that game is like a real legit Game Boy game that runs on real hardware, and the game looks good. It's surprisingly graphically impressive for a homebrew thing. And it was a fairly, it looked like a lot of people worked on it though, because when you beat the game, like the credits have like, I don't know, at least 10 people that worked on it, possibly more. But the main dev was like one guy, and I guess he did it partly in Pixel Studio, partly manual, and partly in some other thing. That's what a lot of people use GB Studio as an assist, right? And they still like do lines of code, and they use that basically to do the grunt work. They'll use GB Studio to do it. All right, I think we're doing the Gachapon now, yeah?
Yep.
We got 6 entries for our tonight's Gachapon, you guys. Thank you guys who entered. Odds are pretty good, seeing that there are 14 people, but only 6 people entered. GTA clone for the Hamburglar's birthday, right? That would be so funny. That would be so funny. All right, here we go. We're doing...
Shuffling 1, 2, 3.
Gachapon giveaway. Here we go. All right, good luck, everybody.
There it goes.
Oh, Sasquatch in Time! Sasquatch in Time is the winner of tonight's Gachapon. Very cool. Congratulations to a Sasquatch in Time.
Says, almost me, yeah.
Almost. All right. Rigged Sasquatch in Time. A Sasquatch, you are the winner. You are the winner, our furry woodland creature friend. All right, you know the rules. Pick a number between 1 through 4. The number that you pick is the corresponding prize. Excuse me, sorry. I'm drinking soda. Pick 69. Sasquatch says number 3. Number 3. Somebody take a picture because we need a Samsquatch sighting. Congrats to Sasquatch. To a Sasquatch. A Sasquatch. Sasquatch, are you still uploading videos to your YouTube? I haven't checked your YouTube in a while.
Your thing.
Alright, ball number 1. Ball number 1 is a set of charms made by yours truly. It's a Roby-chan and a medal from Mega Man. That is ball number 1. Ball number 2 is a Krillin Gachapon. Very cute. Krillin keychain.
This is his.
Alright, and your prize is this right here. Super Mario.
And if you would have picked 4, it would have been that one.
Yeah. If you would have picked 4, it would have been Sailor Moon Wand. So, I would say that what you got is pretty cool. Alright, you can kill the camera. Kill the camera. Kill it. Alright, here we go. This is Sasquatch's Gachapon prize. It is a mushroom from Super Mario from a Japanese gachapon from the Nintendo store. Was this from the Nintendo
No, I
store?
got it at
Gachapon?
the Crane Games.
Oh, Crane Games.
Yeah.
Never mind. This was a Crane Game win. Very cool. Super Mario mascot figure.
But the cinnamon one is actually magic cinnamon one.
It's got an official Nintendo seal of quality. Congratulations on your cute little mushroom win. So adorable. Sweet Mario, I love shrooms. That's the natural food for a Sasquatch out in the forest. Wild mushrooms sometimes make a Sasquatch go crazy and climb the trees. Climb the trees, a Sasquatch. All right. Very cool. Here we go. Moving on to the next answer for our SaruShow question, which was, what is the portable that you did or do take with you when you go on summer vacation? The next one comes to us from Mark Dell. Mark Dell says, I don't vacation as much as I should, but back in 1995, I was 15. I remember going on a trip with my Scion Pocket PC and my Game Boy. I picked up a copy of Worms on my trip and I was so disappointed. I couldn't do simple things like naming my teams and saving them. I spent most of that week sitting out in the sun and writing code on my Scion. I ended up nearly finishing my Star Trek game and graphics editor. I was so proud of myself. That's such an egghead answer. That's such a smart person. Such a smart person thing to say, right? Like, oh, I was programming. I was making applications. Mark Dell, you are like you are a what do you call it? You are a tech geek from the olden days. A tech geek amongst all tech geeks. I think how many portables do you have now, Mark? What is it with this thing?
Just eat it.
No,
Why not?
Because it's weirding me out. Why is there just an erect Cheeto on my cracker? I don't. Stop it! Put it down. Anyway, Mark Dow, how many portables do you have now? You have like 72 portable consoles, don't you? I wish I still did. I don't know. Must have 20 plus portables. Really? Because I saw you had like, how many of these like Windows type things do you have? The Windows portable things. You posted like 6 of them or something, right? Or 5 of them? It was like the mini, or not the mini, the Steam Deck, the Aya Neo, the Aya Duck, the Aya, the Yaya. I don't know. Maybe 6. I don't know. Too many. And then you have like a million of these other things, right? Don't you have like 82 Miu Minis? And like, do you have any of the Ambernick consoles?
Well,
The ROG Ally. Holy shit. All of the portables.
Only have 5 windows.
Mark Dell is known as the portable king. Every time we do like a whatnot and a portable comes up, we always bring up Mark Dell. We're like, where's Mark Dell? I give them away a lot, says Mark Dell.
That's mine.
As I caress my Miu Mini Plus. It's so soft. It's so soft. It feels so smooth. Porta Daddy says Cassius. Sorry, Mario, just teasing, but I'm going to say smartphones don't count as portable systems. They don't, really. I don't consider them as portable systems either, but like I guess you can. But like in the traditional sense, no, they're not. But to some people, that's like their video game. That's how they started video games, right? They started with mobile phones, you know. You have like, you know, all the children that, you know, grew up with phones. That's like their gaming experiences. All the chillins.
Yeah,
all the children's.
Her first game was Snake on the phone.
Oh, like on the Nokia?
Yep.
Oh.
She played it, and I was like, holy, she was really good at it.
I think everyone played those, right? Like Snake and stuff.
Yeah.
On the indestructible Nokias, because they were freaking indestructible. But anyway, yes. Mark Dell's answer is such a smart brain answer, right? He's like, I was playing games on one hand and coding on the other, and solving mathematical equations. A regular Mark Dell day. Mark Dell's like, I'm a computer. I do remember buying worms on my Nokia Java phone. That reminded me, actually, I just bought some Japanese Java games, like those Gmode games. On the Japanese Nintendo eShop, there's like these Gmode games. Gmode is like the phone service or whatever. You can get these like Java games on like NTT Docomo or whatever your phone was. And those Java games are on the eShop, so I bought some. With I had Play Asia credit, and I used my Play Asia credit to buy 6,000 yen. And I think I had like $51 worth of Play Asia credit, but like the dollar is so strong to the yen right now that it worked out. So I bought 6,000 yen with my Play Asia credit, because now you can't use PayPal anymore. You used to be able to use PayPal on Japanese eShops. Now you have to go back to buying cards, so it's kind of annoying. So now you have to go back on the Japanese eShop to download stuff. You have to buy the cards again. But it worked out in the end because I had Play Asia credit. I used my Play Asia credit. I told myself I'm gonna stop buying so many physical Switch games. I think I'm gonna start selling off my Switch collections and start buying digital stuff. Leapfrog was my first portable. It was when you throw two frogs into an anthill at the same time in the forest. Oh my god, that sounds horrible. And the one that survives wins. All the Sasquatch in the forest are like betting on which frog is gonna jump out of the fire anthill alive. My bets are on green. And then brown is the one that ends up jumping out of the fire ant hole. Let's see here. Did I miss someone? Brandon Wallace, welcome in. He says, hello everyone. I got an email that someone gifted me a membership. Thank you, whoever that was. That was Matthew. Matthew with the gift subs on the channel. Thank you so much once again, Matthew, for gifting memberships to everyone, including Brandon Wallace, which brought him into the chat. Brandon, how's your house going? Brandon Wallace recently bought a house. I think he's working on his game room. I'm excited to see Brandon Wallace's game room. Hopefully you share pictures with us on the Discord of your new game room. We're actually going to change our game room around. This wall is going to be not so close anymore. So I don't know how that's going to work when I want to like show stuff off. Like I always like to get up and grab it because it's like right here. But we're thinking about pushing our desk all the way to the end so that there's more room. Because right now our game room is weird, right? Like because we have the streaming desk right in front of this. This is a closet, by the way. Jesse put this together in the back with the games in the closet. But this used to be a closet, so we put everything here to maximize space. But it kind of makes it so that the room is more cluttered. So we're going to push the table to the end so that the shelf is going to be further behind us. Let's see here. Wow, Saru, you played before Saru, says Sasquatch in time. Mackenzie says, Sweets, better tell people you have worms on the go while on vacation than me playing games on place with my Switch that contains uncensored assets. I have worms. That sounds bad. I've got worms. Brandon says, yes, I will share. I am packing stuff up in my old house now. We don't get the keys to our new house until August 1st. Oh, okay. Very cool, though. Yeah, that's exciting. It's exciting, right? When you, like, get to think of, like, how you want to do your new room. So I gotta move my butt cushion because it's, like, sliding underneath me and my pants are falling. Ah, yes. Soft. Let's see here. It looks so much bigger on screen. It's something I've heard a lot before. It looks so much bigger on Tinder. What are we talking about? All right, next one. Cybergirl. We got a Cybergirl answer to what is the portable console that you do or did take you with you on summer vacations. Number 8. Cybergirl says, my 3DS and neo-geo Pocket Color. Wow, that's actually a pretty cool answer. Short, but I like that. She's the first person to say neo-geo Pocket Color in these answers. Very nice. Very cool. You're just gonna eat my cracker. You ate all the crackers.
You didn't want any.
Because I don't.
I offered you this cracker. You're not. Why didn't you eat it?
Because you're doing weird things to food.
How is this weird?
That's
this
weird.
Is not weird.
That's weird. You weirdo. I didn't expect neo-geo Pocket Color from Cybergirl. I assume Saru is basically in a closet under the stairs. Like Harry Potter. I should have talked about my old Tiger Electronics from the late 80s before I did anything else. Says screw the net. Stop that.
Just eat it.
I don't want it. I don't want your weird Cheeto. Cheeto cracker. Cheese cracker with erect Cheeto on it.
What if I put a oatmeal cookie on
Ew,
top?
no. Dude, don't ruin them. These are my oatmeal cookies. They're mine. I love my Turtles Tiger Electronics game. I played that thing to death, says Mark Dell. I had, the only Tiger Electronics game I had was Mega Man 2. I think. And while I did play it every now and again, like, after a while, it would just drive me crazy. All the beeps and boops. I had a Turtles one too, says Sasquatch. Yeah, I had a Mega Man 2 one, which had that, like, iconic Mega Man 2 artwork, you know? That so many people have come to know. Alright, next one. Let's see. Can you scroll down on this window? Put this up here. Alright, next one comes to us from Wreck-It Renz. Wreck-It Renz. Answer to the portable that he took with him or does take with him on summer vacation. He says, as a young lad, the handheld I frequently took along on family vacations was the Game Gear. I remember not having many games for it. However, what I did have, I found very entertaining and enjoyable. Those three games were Columns, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Streets of Rage. I recall the lit screen playing a huge part in my decision to take it along. It was either that or the Game Boy Color, so of course I had to go with the handheld that would allow me to play it in the dark, says Wreck-It Renz. I'm loving all these Game Gear answers. Man, I played so much Streets of Rage also on the Game Gear. I played that one so much. Columns, well, Game Gears, when I bought the Game Gear, they came packed with columns because they were trying to, like, I guess, compete with Nintendo, being packed with Tetris. Later on, I think like a year or two later, they started being, maybe 2 years, right? They started being packed with Sonic 2. I think there was one with Sonic 1 and then eventually one with Sonic 2. I don't know. But my Game Gear came, I got my Game Gear like the first week of release. And there were like 6 titles. It was like Columns and like Shinobi and Wonder Boy, which was called Legend of Drancon for some reason. Psycho World, which was called Psychic World. And something else. I think I want to say it was like a Super Monaco game. I think it was like some Game Gear Super Monaco GP kind of thing. I don't remember. But the only one I had for the longest time was what is it called? Columns. I had Columns for the longest time before I got any other games for it. Let's see here. I love all the Game Gear love. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I was expecting like a lot of people to answer with like a lot of Nintendo questions, but so far we got 3 people talk about the Game Gear, which is really cool. Let's see here. In December 1992, Sonic 2 came out. I wish I had Columns. Yeah, mine came with Columns, and I played hours of Columns. So many batteries. Let's see here. Mackenzie says, I never had a Game Gear growing up, but I did get to experience some Game Gear games on the GameCube with games like Sonic Adventure and Sonic Gems Collection. I loved Sonic Drift 2. Yeah, Sonic Drift 2 was one that never came out here, I think, right? Did that one come out in America? One of them didn't come out. I don't remember which Sonic Drift didn't come out here. I want to say it was Sonic Drift 2. But I don't remember, because I didn't have either one. I wanted Sonic Drift 2, but I never got it. Sadly, I never got. I had a GG with Columns, Joe Montana Football, Mortal Kombat 2, Sonic 2. Played those to death and never played Streets of Rage. I really wanted that one too. Streets of Rage was like, it was like you could only use, who was it? I think you could only use Axel and Blaze, right? You could only use those 2 characters. And obviously the screen was smaller, the sprites were like tiny, but the music was still banging. Like, it was a fun game. I liked it. I played a lot of Streets of Rage. And the 8-bit renditions of the Yuzo Koshiro music was good. I liked it. It was a fun experience. It was good. Drift 2 was great. I would have loved to see a Mega Drive version. I know, could you imagine how good a Mega Drive version? I totally agree 100%, Mark. A Mega Drive version of Sonic Drift would have been so cool, right? It would have been like the legit like Mario Kart type of thing, I would think, on the Sega Genesis. Or even better if it was on the Sega CD, because then they could have utilized, you know, the CDDA music, Red Book audio. They could have taken advantage of scaling, because the Mega CD had that extra power to do that smooth scaling like you saw on Sonic CD. So they could have totally made a competent Mario Kart competitor for the Sega CD, for sure. If they would have done like a Mega CD version of Sonic Drift, if they would have done like Sonic Drift CD, how cool would that have been? That would have been so cool. But I would have settled for like even a cartridge with not so great scaling. It probably still would have been better than the Game Boy version. Even though the Game Boy or Game Gear version was working with what it had, right? Like, it was working with the limitations of the console. Still would have been really cool. I agree 100%, Mark, that would have been an awesome game to see on its big brother. Lists of unique Sonic games. I want to see that alternative reality. I know, some fan needs to make it. That would be awesome. Oh, we got more answers to the weekly question. Very cool. Very cool. All right, we got a couple more answers, which is awesome. I still have a few. More to read. Mackenzie says, who needs Sonic Drift 2 on Sega CD? Clearly, Sega of America had the right idea. FMV games. That was the future of gaming. If you didn't know, that's what the future held, was FMV games. And you know how well they did. They did so good. The technology was so great. Oh man, it's realer than real, says Sasquatch in time. It was so real, right? It's so great. Sonic Drift 2, but it controls like Sewer Shark. Ah, that would have been horrible. I don't even want to. That sounds like nightmares. Nightmares. All right, number 10 comes to us from Cerulean. Cerulean says, in the past, the answer would definitely be both a Game Boy for my younger brother and a Game Gear for myself. Nowadays, I have so many. A new 3DS, well, not so new anymore, a PlayStation Vita, an Evercade, now replaced with the Evercade EXP, a Nintendo Switch, and then there's the Steam Deck. I obviously won't be able to play with all of them, let alone have the time for whatever I do on summer vacation. So out of all those, I'd probably just take the Vita and the Steam Deck. Together, they'd cover pretty much all my bases. Man, I was so tempted to take the Steam Deck with me on this trip, but I'm like, no, I don't want to lose it. What if it gets lost in the airport? What if it breaks? Like, yeah. So I might take my Vita, though, with me. My Vita. Actually, no, I'm just going to take this. Why would I take my Vita? Yeah. This is so much more portable. So much more portable. I'm probably just going to play, like, 16-bit shit anyway. So, yeah. The Miu is the only thing I need with me. And then I think for streaming, I think I'm going to bring this. I think I'm going to bring the PlayStation Vita Portable. The portable, it's real than real. Program that shit. The shit out of that, Mark. Yes, Mark Dell, make a Sonic Drift CD. Can we have Sonic Drift CD? Mark Dell's gonna program it. He's gonna play. He's gonna play on his Aya Duck, Mega Duck Aya Mini Yaya, while he programs Sonic Drift CD for us. Please, Mark, and thank you. We are looking forward to Sonic Drift CD. The Saru crew is counting on you. No pressure. No pressure, but make it happen. Vita being left behind, I can hear it crying from the inside. Poor Vita, I know. But thanks to, like, really crafty hackers, the Vita has life again, and it's so freaking awesome now. Way better than any support Sony could have given it, right? Like, I feel like the Vita is, like, alive again, and with so many like cool things to play on it. I don't know. I think the Vita is still a very, very strong option for modern portable gaming. RetroArch also works really good on the Vita too. There are some exceptions, right? Like Super Effects games kind of shit the bed hard. Some games you need to switch between emulators to get them to work better, but you know, it does. It plays most, I would say like 90% of everything out there. For the things that it does support, it plays them pretty well. Cassia says Sonic Drift CD with special character Yuki. How cool would that be, right? That would be so cool. Let's see here. I bet there's some game maker for Sega CD or just replace the footage from the existing game. I wish there was, man. If there was like some sort of tool like that for Sega, like there is like GB Studio. Dude, GB Studio is gonna like revolutionize like it's bringing life back to the Game Boy because people are doing stuff with GB Studio, including us, right? We're using GB Studio as like the base for like stuff for Yuki on Game Boy. What kept the Vita alive to me for so long was Japan and companies like Limited Run. Without LRG, their many Vita games maybe never would have been able to play, says Mackenzie. That's true. I would say Play Asia also played a very, very big role with that, for sure. I would say Play Asia played just as big a role, I would say, if not bigger, because there was a lot of Asian territory language games also on the Vita that you weren't able to play in English, and only were able to play in English because you were able to buy those Asia versions from places like Play Asia. Play Asia is definitely there too. Yeah, for reals. GB Studio is crazy. Sometimes the limitations drive me nuts, but it's so easy. Yeah, GB Studio, like a lot of it is like drag and drop kind of like atmosphere, and you can even improve upon it too, right? With code. I think GB Studio is a crazy thing. It is a crazy thing, but yeah, I think thanks to GB Studio also is the reason why Yuki GB is going to be a thing. All right, moving on with the weekly question. We had asked you guys, what is the portable that you like to take with you on the go, or your summer vacations, or that you take with you now on vacation? GT Beakerman says, my son and I each take a Nintendo Switch. I also bring a gaming laptop, says GT Beakerman. Really? Like, well, you probably bring like your gaming laptop to work, right? And to do like work stuff maybe, and then you game on it also. It just happens to be a gaming laptop. Perhaps, I don't know. I don't think GT Beakerman's here. I'm asking like he's here. I don't think he's here right now. I think he was here earlier, right?
Yeah,
he popped in. But yeah, that's cool. Like, the Switch, I don't really play on this one. This one is the one I use just to dock. With this last Japan trip, I just bought a Switch Lite. And let me tell you, it is way more comfortable to play on the Switch Lite than trying to play on this. I didn't really know how comfortable it would be to use the Switch Lite versus the regular Nintendo Switch. But it is a much better experience to play portably on the Lite than on the big, heavy Switch. Let's see here. GB2. I love those limitations. Forces people to get creative. That's what makes retro games so great. Yeah, that's true. Some of the limitations are things like frames of animations allowed. That sticks in my mind a lot. Yeah. That's another thing. Right? Like, with Yuki has like, on the PC Engine one, she has like 1 billion frames of, like, not 1 billion, but she has a lot of frames of animation. On the Game Boy, it has to all be cut down. Like, her animation to walk is just 3 frames, right? Like, this way, up, this way, like, burp, burp, burp. You know, jump is only 2 frames. But, like, on the PC Engine, Yuki's jump is, like, 6 frames, right? Because she has, like, the jump up, right? And there's, like, 3 frames when she goes up. And then there's 3 frames when she goes down. And her hair is, like, moving. But Game Boy is just 2 frames. Just when she goes up. And then a frame when she's falling down. And same thing with the attacks. Like, her attack is just 2 frames. But on the PC Engine one, it's only 3. Because of how quickly she performs her attack. The 3 frames really bothered me. I thought they had fixed that. Yeah, most stuff is only like, you can only make stuff like 3 frames. I think you can get around that with script though, I think, right? I believe you can get around that limitation, I think. With script. Mackenzie says, Sarmara, I'm no longer going to be using my regular Joy-Cons on my Switch anymore. I'm actually going to get the Hori split pad compact controllers for my Switch. Yeah, that looks like, I saw those. They look nice. Hori makes like good stuff though. I feel like they make good stuff. All right, moving on. We had asked you guys, what is the portable that you take with you on vacation or still do? Famicom Collecting says, as a farmer, I don't have a summer vacation. But if I did, I would probably choose the Vita as the handheld to take on vacation. You can do pretty much anything on a modded Vita, so I feel it would be the best choice for me. Yeah, for sure. I think the Vita is definitely a good choice right now, right? Because you can put so much on it. It's so versatile. GeoGames, welcome. GeoGames says, my favorite is the DS Lite. Very nice. Yeah, the DS Lite is nice. The beta, says Cerulean. Cerulean, what's up? I just read yours right before. Let's see here. Markdale says, the thing I hate most about the Switch is how the Joy-Cons never feel solid. Putting it inside a shell helps a lot, but I love the Lite because of how much better the controller feel. Yeah, the Lite just feels better. Like, this one felt like shit. I never really used it like this because it was really annoying to use this thing, right? And it all just, like, the buttons just generally feel like shit. But I bought a Pro controller. When I bought my Switch, me and Jesse got launch Switches, right? And we bought one for each because I know he was going to be fucking stuck to it with Breath in the Wild. So there's no way we were going to share a Switch. And I wanted to play Blaster Master Zero. So I pre-ordered mine on Amazon and you pre-ordered yours. Where did you pre-order yours? You remember? It was it like Best Buy? Best Buy.
I went with of friends to Best Buy midnight launch.
Yeah, that's right. He went to midnight launch, and I get mine like the morning of.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think you were bitching about that, right? Because I got mine like the morning of.
Yeah.
And yeah, he had gone to get it because he pre-ordered it like way before I pre-ordered mine. I pre-ordered mine. I think I had like a last minute decision to pre-order it, right? Like, I don't know, maybe days before it was out, I pre-ordered it on Amazon, and it got here the morning of, and I bought Blaster Master Zero, and I loved it. Let's see here. I just love it in handheld mode. I don't go docking too often. I do need to look into alternate controllers for the Switch. I'm surely missing out. I just recently bought a wired one also. I bought the wired 8-bit DOE. I bought it mainly for streaming, but it works for the Switch. It'll probably work on my Mister as well. I'm probably going to use it on the Steam Deck. I bought a lilac colored one. They have a wireless option as well, but I don't want to fuck around with that because I was only going to use it for streaming. So I got a wired one just to make sure that it works. Just for streaming. Mackenzie says, sorry, Maru, I can't wait to pick it up this Thursday. I ordered a collector's edition of Blaster Master 03 for my Switch. The box is so cute. The 2 characters are hugging and melts my heart away. Where did you get it? It's like the Play Asia one? I need to get that. I still haven't opened the collector's edition of Blaster Master 1 and 2. I haven't opened it, but I have it brand new in box still from Limited Run. I think I got it because it came with like acrylics.
It's heavy.
It's heavy because it comes with it comes with like a set of acrylics. For this one, so I also need 3. Where did you get which collector's version? No, this is from the retro store in my area. Oh, okay. I've not tried Blaster Master 0, but it looks great. Oh, it's so much fun. I played this until I finished it, basically, right? Like, it was the only game on the Switch that I played, until I finished it. And then once I finished, this was like at the beginning of my channel. My first gaming video was an FX Unit Yuki one on the channel. But my first video after that was a Nintendo Switch video. Was my first video on this channel. Was a Nintendo Switch video. And then I did a review. My first reviews were Nintendo Switch games like King of Fighters on the Switch, Arcade Archives. And then I think I did a review of Kamiko for the Nintendo Switch. And then I started doing like retro stuff. But at the beginning I was doing like Switch stuff. And like my Nintendo Switch video is like the one, I think that's the second biggest video on the channel. It's not a lot. It's like, I don't remember, like, I think the Paprium video is my most popular video. But I think because I have that on the front page, so people watch it automatically. I think that's the only reason why the Paprium video has so many views. Because I haven't changed the landing page video. I haven't changed it in like 3 years. I still need to get back to 02, says Cerulean. Yeah, I haven't beat 02 also. I'm like towards the end of 02. And it's like, I just gotta go and beat it. But I think at this point, I'm gonna start it over. I might just start over with 02. Because I feel like I don't remember the events that happened in it anymore. So yeah, I think I'll probably start it over when I open that one, and I'll just play that one over again. Fonzie's still telling me he's going to send me my paprika, says Brandon Wallace. It's so funny because I got that and it's already gone, right? I sold it because I ended up selling Paprium for like $450. Which funded our first trip to Mexico was Paprium.
Paprium.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
So yeah, Paprium funded our first Mexico trip. That's what we used to go to Mexico, was Paprium, to buy the tickets, and then we sold more Whatnot stuff. Pretty much like Whatnot has been the reason we've been able to travel, is because I've been selling like stuff I don't want anymore on Whatnot. Right?
Good night, Randrick.
Good night, Randrick. Thanks for stopping in, and thank you for answering the weekly question. I appreciate it. Have a good night. Sleep well. I appreciate it. Have a good night. Paprika. This is collecting. Mackenzie says that Master Blaster 03 Collector's Box actually complete that picture of Blaster Master 0 and 02 Collector's Edition on the Switch. Oh, does it? I'm wondering if it's like super expensive now. I didn't get the limited run version of it, so I don't know. I have to get some version of it. I might just get like on Play Asia. I might just get a Play Asia one. Might be too expensive to try to get the collector's edition at this point in time. And I don't want to pay over market value for it. Especially because like limited run stuff like is not really like, I don't know. Maybe I'll look into the limited run version, but I might just get it on Play Asia for cheap. Let's see here. I saw a comment, then it went away.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, am I tripping out? I thought we had visitors. No, this is from a Richard store in my area. Mark Dell says, I wish I could Whatnot. I have so much to sell, but I can't imagine the pricey handhelds would sell that easy on there. Yeah, I noticed that all the pricey stuff. So I have a bunch of stuff that I'm going to sell on eBay because I can't sell it on Whatnot, right? Like the only stuff that was pricey that was able to sell, because they go for those prices for like the neo-geo things, but most of the like really expensive stuff doesn't really sell, because I think people go to Whatnot to try to like get deals, right, like below eBay prices. So that's kind of really what it's for. Paprikash screw the net. But yeah, Whatnot, I feel like it's more for like stuff that you can easily get rid of, right? Stuff that's like known. I think for your consoles, you might have to go with eBay for that stuff. You might have to eBay all your things. You might have to eBay. Speaking of eBay, I'm gonna start selling on eBay again for the first time in a while, because there's stuff that I have that I just can't sell elsewhere. Like I have that iPad that I've been sitting on for like a year that I need to sell. I have like just some odds and ends, right? Like I have a G-Shock watch that I want to sell. I have a DJI, one of those like mini stabilizer camera things, but like I'm using my phone now to take video. because the quality is just better to just take video on my Samsung than it is on the DJI. So I'm going to sell it because I could use the money. So I'm just going to put it all on eBay for that stuff. But it's like non-gamer related stuff, so it would be easier to just sell it on eBay. All right, let's get back to our week. Oh, let me read these comments before we get back to the weekly question. Mackenzie says, "Hey, Sarumaru, I uploaded a pic on Discord right now showing the 2 collector's editions of Blaster Master that complete the picture in the general section." Do we have Discord open here?
Yeah, we do.
Let me see. I can just
General?
check on my phone. Yeah, in general. I want to say... Oh! Shit. Oh, man. I kind of want that. That looks so good like that. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah. How much is that? How much is that on eBay? Does anybody know? Because then I could just put it like up there. Right? All together. And they would complete that picture. Ah, I kind of want it now. Can you put that picture on the screen?
Yeah, I can.
Huge controller. Which one? Oh, the Blaster Master one? Ah. How much are you going for on the aftermarket Blaster Master 3? I didn't know that it connected to that. That would look really good on the shelf. And then I could just leave the rest of it on the shelf and just take the games out. That's what I do with all my collector's editions. I always take the games out and they go on the shelf with the Switch stuff, obviously, so I can play them. And then the boxes will just go up somewhere. I just keep the boxes up.
There it is.
Cool. Oh my gosh, I need that. Blaster Master 03. Let's see. Blaster Master 03 Switch.
Oh, that's so cool.
That is so cool. I don't see the limited run one. $82. Oh, but that's only bid only. What the fuck? Alright, is this it? This is it. $180. That's more than I want to pay for that. $125. Here's one for $125. Buy it now. New seal, $10 shipping. That's still like $50 more than it sold for, isn't it? Right? That's the cheapest one. Oh, that's too much money for me. That's too much. That's too much moolah. I'm just gonna buy the $30. I forget the picture.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
Yeah, fuck that. That's too much.
I got it.
I mean, I would like it, but there's no way I'm gonna pay $130 just so I can complete that picture when I can buy the game for $30. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Just buy a poster. I'll just print out like a 8x10 and just stick it to I'll just stick it to the box. And it'll be good enough. And then I'll just buy 3 for $30. And that's it. That's it. Alright, moving on to the weekly question. We had asked you guys, what is the portable that you like taking with you or still do to this day on summer vacation? We have a story from Sasquatch in Time. Let me take a drink because I've been talking like at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Alright. Sasquatch says, well, the year was a very sassy 1998. It was my senior high school trip. We were taking a bus from a hot state to California. It was going to be an intense endeavor. We were hitting up 4 places in 3 days. Disneyland, Magic Mountain, Universal Studios, and the beach. My buddy and I had each just bought a Sega Nomad on clearance for $50 from Toys R Us. And I decided I would take mine along with Street Fighter II Champion Edition on this end of the year adventure. After arriving in California, we immediately went to Disneyland, no stopping. When our day was over, the class went back to the hotel. Once at the hotel, the other classmates must have all been hot and bothered from subliminal and erotic messages that Disney has mastered oh so well, that they were feeling the need to get it on. And that's right. Teens alone together in a hotel room were wanting to get freaky. So, while most of the teens were trying to court each other in the hopes of some awkward love, The only penetration my buddy and I wanted were in defenses of Sagat's and Bison's dirty, cheap gameplay. My friend and I continued playing Street Fighter 2 all night. And even with all the hotel full of heavy-breathing, horny teens, I will tell my kid that your old daddy Squatch scored more that night. Scored more because playing Street Fighter in that hotel room prevented me from meeting up with your mom until a couple years later. And since I didn't knock her up until Alpha, you probably wouldn't even have named something... You wouldn't have been named something stupid like Dalsum instead of Dan. Now go tell your sister Sodom to go to bed. It's past her bedtime. Why would the girl be named Sodom? Why not Cammy or Chun-Li or Rose? That's hilarious. I love that.
Story ever.
That's good. And since I didn't knock her up until Alpha, you probably would have been named something stupid like Dalsum instead of Dan. No, go tell your sister Sodom to go to bed. It's past her bedtime. Oh, that was good. I love that one. That is the answer of the night right there. Tell your sister so. I love that one. That was great. Great job as usual. So why not Sakura?
Why not Sakura?
Because Sodom is so much more shocking. I love that one. That's a good answer. or Birdie. Go tell your sister Birdie to go to bed. Birdie's like that big punk guy with the mohawk. Oh, that's great. I love that. I posted the Hatsune Miku controller on the Discord. Hatsune Miku controller. What did I miss? Oh, that thing. That's cool. Do you like that game? You like Project Diva? They're fun. Man, that controller's cool. Does that one do the slide? Can you do the... Oh, it does. Oh, but they're just buttons, right? Slide buttons. There's a controller that lets you do the... Bring, bring. Which one is this one for? The first... Is this for the first Project Diva F? Those games were fun. I love those when the PSP... when they first started coming out for PSP. Those were freaking awesome. They were awesome. Okay. That's awesome. Was Mark Dell talking about the Project Diva controller? Is Saru hot dog? Oh, Saru, I wanted to ask what the Mega Duck is. He should have had the Mega Duck on Mew. It's a console, right? Isn't it like some sort of China thing? China console?
Great job as usual, Saru.
Cutting. I know Cutting would have been a or Crimson. It's my controller. This is my son M. Bison and my lovely daughter Balrog. I got it at Goodwill. It's the one for PS3. Wow,
Nice.
that's a really cool find. What a random thing to find at Goodwill. It's a Project Diva controller. It's so cool to play with those with the controller.
Yeah.
It's loud though. It gets loud. Like once you're playing like on anything hard or insane, I can't play. I can only hard is as hard as it gets, and I have to play like level 6 songs maybe. But when you're hitting that controller, it gets really loud. It's like blah 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 blah. It's fun though. It's fun playing with the controller. It's a different experience to play with the controller. It feels like you're doing something, right, as opposed to just pushing buttons for it. I like the arcade feel of having that. I got it in Vegas. Makes sense. Makes sense because I feel like there's a lot of import gamers that live here in Vegas. There's a lot of people who are into imports here. Because anytime you go to a store here, you always find imports. There's always import games to be found. So I feel like a lot of import gamers live here. Let's see here. Very cool. Yes, this is real music.
Oh, I love this song.
Beep boop. Beep beep beep. Beep beep boop beep.
It's Marin's song.
And the magic's...
I had this on... Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I'm saying stupid shit. You had this on
I had
Game Boy.
this on as a ringtone.
Oh, did you?
When someone would text me.
The whole
Long
thing?
time ago. No, like 10 seconds.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
Or 3 seconds. It'd be like
Beep, beep, boop. Can you close this so I can see?
this one. Oh yes.
Yeah, minimize it. Minimoose. All right. Let's see here. Screw the Net says, well, Vegas about to get the Oakland A's too, so y'all could.
Ew.
So y'all got the cool mojo. Leave some for the rest of us.
Like 3 teams I hate here.
The Raiders, the Oakland
Raiders,
A's.
Oakland A's, and the Knights.
Hey, what's wrong with the Knights?
I don't like the Golden Knights.
The Knights is why not? I think that's the best thing to happen to Vegas was the
That's
Golden
true.
Knights, because why didn't they do that? See, that's what I think they should have done. I know it would have been more expensive, right, to start a team like they did with the Golden Knights, because they had to get a bunch of players, already established players from other things. But I think it would have been more impactful if they had done something right with, like if they had brought like baseball, you know, with a new team like they did with the Golden Knights. I feel like the Golden Knights is kind of a special thing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, instead of like, oh, we just bought this team from both teams from fucking California, right? The Raiders and the Oakland A's, you know? And it's like, for me, I guess it's a good thing and a bad thing. Like, if you're a property owner, it's a good thing, because it's going to bring even more people from California. Because there was an influx of people moving here when the Raiders moved here. Like, the crazy, like, dedicated fans, right? A lot of people moved here. Like, people were being, like, interviewed on TV, and they're like, oh, yeah, I will follow the Raiders anywhere they go. And, like, people from California moved here because of the Raiders. I assume it's going to happen also with the Oakland A's, is that people who are fans of the Oakland A's who lived in Oakland probably are going to move here with their team as well. But, yeah, seems like most businesses are leaving California. California is a wasteland now, right? Like, everything is so expensive. If you don't own land, forget buying land unless you've got, like, buku bucks, right? Because a house is going to cost you... Like, the median house is like $1 million. Like, what the fuck? Like, who could afford that? Who? Who could afford to get that? You know, it's like, it's crazy. I don't know how people live in California. Yeah, we moved here from California, right? Like, we moved here from Culver City in 2012, and we moved here because back then it was already too expensive for us to live. We couldn't afford to do anything. We paid rent, and that was it. We paid rent. We ate exclusively food from the dollar store. So we bought, like, remember we would buy, like, burger patties and lettuce and eggs. Everything came from the dollar store when we lived in Culver City. The only time we would splurge is if we would go to McDonald's to get McDoubles. We used to always do McDoubles, and they used to have, like, a loyalty milkshake thing. We would go and get, like, the free milkshake or whatever. We had some good times though, right? We had some good.
Yeah,
we had fun.
The beach was like 2 minutes away.
Seriously, we were 5 minutes away from the beach, and we never went. We were a 5-minute drive from Santa Monica, and we rarely got to go because parking is so expensive. It's like $20 to park your car there. So, and that's not even like, it was like $25 to park it like on the street that's by the beach. And then $20 everywhere else. So, like, we only went when people came to visit us. We would go and we'd pay that $20 to park at the beach. But otherwise, it was too expensive. So we never went to the beach. So the only thing that we could say is that we lived in Culver City. It's like, ooh, we live in Culver City, but didn't have the fucking money to do diddly squat, you know. So we moved here, and when we moved here, we suddenly had money to do things. And so we started going back to California and doing more. We would do more in California living here in Vegas than we did when we lived in California, because we couldn't afford to do it when we lived in California. You know, I didn't make a whole lot of money. I worked, a tech job at the time, and I made like $16 an hour, and like he worked at a Halloween store, and like there just wasn't, and our rent was $13.50 a month, and we paid and we had a discounted. because it was $1,600 for the apartment that we lived in, but I knew the person who rented it, so we paid $1,300 for it, discounted, and it was still too much. We couldn't afford it. After utilities and rent and gas, and registering my car, and at the time I still had a car payment, even though my car payment was not a lot. It was just not affordable. So we moved. Panda scaring the customers before they could purchase anything in the Halloween items. Could you imagine just walking in, Jesse's just standing there with his panda head on? This was pre-panda head.
I met two celebrities when I worked. I worked at Santa Monica, the pier,
Yeah. So yeah, he worked at the Santa Monica Halloween store, and that one was open all year round, right?
Yeah,
that was the all year round Halloween experience store. And he worked at the one that was the Santa Monica one, and he met who was that guy? He was in
Grace, Will and Grace.
Will and Grace. The other one.
I forgot his name.
Not the attractive one, the other one. I don't know what his name is. He met that guy, and then you met, who else did you meet?
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Sarah Michelle Gellar. That was something that happened though in California, right? Like, you worked in retail, you were in those areas, you were bound to meet people. Like, I worked at Blockbuster. My first Blockbuster job was in Beverly Hills, and Shannon Doherty came in, Gwen Stefani came in, Kato Kalin came in, and like at the time, he was famous because of the whole OJ thing was very fresh during that time. Who else came in? David Green, who was like another 90210 person, came in. So like a bunch of those people. That was during my time when I was, I was young. Those were people who were famous at that time. Luke Perry came in. Fireworks. Okay, I was like, was that gunfire? I don't know. We always play this game here, gunfire or fireworks, around this time. No, it's fireworks. That's too many shots. That's too many pops for it to be gunfire. But yeah, anytime there's like a loud popping, we always say gunfire or fireworks. All right, but anyway, yeah, it was really expensive. I don't know how we started talking about California. I think the Oakland days, right? Brian Wallace says, damn, right when I went to read, it scrolls up. Can you scroll up, please? Luke Perry, rest in peace. I know, yeah, he passed away. I was a bit angry the Golden Knights won the cup, but it's cool for Vegas because it's their first own team, a team that's not a transplant like the Raiders or the Oakland A's. Yeah. That's exactly what.
That's true.
What I was saying. The Knights are all Vegas, right? They are a Vegas team, and the Raiders, are not. They're a team from California, and soon the Oakland A's will be here, and there's also another team for California. So I feel like it would have been much more expensive, but I think if like they're gonna spend our tax dollars, on a team, it should have been another organic team like it's that kind of like the Vegas Knights, because like our tax dollars are going towards that. Like the stadium is being funded by tax dollars, and then like I guess they wanted more, and they were like, no, that's all you get, right? So I guess like there's still some like up in the air thing with the A's stadium, right?
No, that was our F1 thing.
Oh, that's right. That was the F1 thing. Yeah, F1 also tax dollars, so it's like, fuck, man. So
they
yeah,
ran out of money, and they're like, hey,
they ran out of the F1 ran out of money, and they wanted more money, more tax dollars, and I guess they were no. Oh, I gotta look at these like crazy like white whiskers right here. So yeah, I think that if they were going to spend tax dollars on a baseball team anyway, they should have. I would have been happy with them taking more of those tax dollars to create something like the Vegas Knights, right? So that's why, like, I don't know, like, and I got to see a lot of practice games for the Vegas Knights when I was still working with Cox. They would let us just come and do, because like Cox was a big sponsor also for like here in Las Vegas for the Summerlin Arena, their old practice arena, which was in Summerlin. Like, I guess like Cox gave them a lot of money, so I got to see a lot of like practice games for free. They let us go watch all the practice games, and it was cool. You know, we'd go watch practice games and get nachos, and it was fun to just go because, you know, it would just be like whatever, just the Cox people would go. So it was fun. It was like 2 different like practice games. And I don't remember if we got discounts or not, but I think they were expensive anyway, so I never did that. Let's see here. Mackenzie says, as an Oilers fan, I'm not happy about the Golden Knights winning the cup at all. Next year, it will be my Oilers' turn. Sorry, Jesse. Sharks have to wait longer. I hope you understand. Yeah, like, does anyone even give a shit about the Sharks anymore? Like, who gives a shit about the Sharks?
Look what Mark Dell posted.
It's cool that Cox let you come. I don't even. It just sounds, anything that you put with
sure
Cox.
Come.
One of the things that was like, when I used to be, so I worked at Cox for like 10 years, right? Recently, but before that, back in like from 2000 to 2005, I was a contractor for what was called Cox at Home. That's what it was called. It was called Cox at Home. It was the internet it was the residential stuff, right? I recently worked as on the business side with the security, like the security team, and it just got old, and I you know, I was reaching my 10-year mark, so I quit. Did you work at Dick's Sporting Goods before Cox? One of the things we had to say when we were contractors was, we hope you're enjoying your Cox to the fullest, or something like that. And then like our closing was like, how is your Cox working today? You know, like it just, at the end we just stopped saying it, right? Because it was like ridiculous, you know, to say like enjoying Cox to the fullest. At that point I was working for a company called Sitel. And Sitel was a contracting company for Cox. They like contracted people, you know, and so like they would bring in like, you know, all these Cox people, and they would teach us about Cox, who were like people who were like with Cox, right? They would come in and like they would teach us everything we needed to know about Cox at the time. And so this would have been like 2000. And I ended up working at Sitel for Cox until we were cut off, right? Like the contract, they terminated the contract with Sitel, and then, you know, no more Cox for us. So Cox was like letting people who work there say, you know, you can come with Cox, you know, if you want to. And I chose not to. I left to go work for a company called EDS at the time, which was another like help desk, right? It was a different help desk. At that time I was fed up with Cox, so I went to go work for EDS. But then later on I would return to Cox, and I returned to Cox hard, right? Because it was almost, you know, I stayed with Cox for almost 10 years. I was right around the corner from hitting my 10 years when I decided that I quit. There's Strategy, thank you so much. Nerd, what is up? Welcome for more food. Thank you so much, Nerd Strategy. Thank you for that generous donation. Welcome in. I was just talking about like my time with Cox. We started talking about Cox because of Vegas nights and stuff, and
I got fed up with Cox.
Yeah,
we Cox now.
We Cox now. Says Under Gamer.
You know
but then,
go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
When I moved here, we lived in. Oh, that actually ties in our story from moving to California. I got my gig with Cox when we were still living in Culver City. And they called me and they said, can you come in for an interview today? I was like, I didn't tell them I lived in California because I wouldn't have gotten the job. You had to live in the state, right, that you were getting the job at. So I was like, I got a doctor's appointment today. And so they're like, can you come tomorrow at 3 p.m.? And I was like, yeah, I can come tomorrow, no problem. So me and Jesse were like, okay, I guess we're driving to California. And so the next day driving to Las Vegas. We drove the next day for my Cox interview, and I got the job. So that same day, the day that we moved here, I got my Cox job. and we went to go look for an apartment that same day. And so we rented an apartment in Green Valley. Because I told myself, because I used to live in Vegas a long time ago, I said if I ever returned to Vegas, I wanted to live in Green Valley. So now we don't live in Green Valley, we live in Henderson. But at that time, I wanted to live in Green Valley, so we went to go get an apartment that same day. We went to go look at 2 apartments, and we decided on one. Right after the interview, Jesse went back to California by himself and packed for a week. For like 5 days. He went back home to pack. For a week. Because he went back home that same day. He went back to California with a friend who lived here that I had. And they drove to California. They packed and they drove back with all that stuff. You drove home with that one girl, my friend in California. You drove home with her, right? Yeah. And then me and Rachel drove the next weekend to pick you up. Everything was already mostly packed, right? And then what wasn't, we just left behind. We were like, fuck it. We just left a bunch of shit behind. And we packed and we moved. Everything happened in like a week. It was crazy. Yeah, and Jessie ended up going back to pack all of her shit. It was a crazy time. Crazy time. Let's see here. We recommend our Cox because Cox works great. Tony the Tiger. Mackenzie says, I would have stuck with Cox and asked the ladies, how do you like your Cox, ladies?
Give me Cox.
Give me Cox. Please give me Cox. Mark Dell says, they would teach us everything we needed to know about Cox. I mean, yeah, that's literally, that sounds super dirty, but that's literally what happened.
You know, I'm surprised they didn't put, like, you know how Cox goes to the gay parade every year in Las Vegas? Surprised they didn't have stickers that says, I love my Cox.
That probably would have been too much.
I love Cox.
See, all the innuendo was unintentional on the Cox marketing side of it. That's the thing. The employees who worked in the call center, however, we made fun of it all the time. You know, about, you know, how if Cox is, are you being fulfilled? Is Cox fulfilling you? Like, you know, how is your Cox working today? Like, the jokes were nonstop.
Didn't someone call and be like, my Cox isn't working?
Yeah, it's like people would always call and say, I can't get my Cox up. And we would always have to mute, chuckle, and then go back to the call because that was a regular thing. People would recall, they'd be like, oh, my Cox is down, right? That was the biggest thing. My Cox is down. It was always, you know, always my Cox is down. My Cox is down. Why fix my Cox now? Why is my Cox down? And, you know, we'd always be like, sounds like a personal problem. Sir, they make a pill for that. You might need to go see the doctor, sir. You know, and then we'd get the ladies who'd be like, you know, oh, my husband says that our Cox is down right now. Like, you know, stuff like that. It would get so much worse once I would move to security because we dealt with DMCA complaints in security. And a lot of DMCA complaints had to do with pornography. So, a lot of callbacks ended up being about people downloading pornography. It was always the worst when we had to call like some mom and pop shop, you know, and like one conversation that always sticks to my head was calling about, it was called Hot Sexy Latina DILFs 4. And I had to tell the lady, and the lady was like, we had a complaint that copyrighted material was downloaded, you know, onto, you know, via your IP address. And she was like, what was the film called? And I was like, oh, it's an adult title. And she's like, we're all adults here. You can tell me what it is. She sounded like an old lady. She sounded super sweet. And I was like, it was called Hot Sexy Latina. It was like Latina Anal Dilfs 4. And she was like, what? She's like, I don't understand. There's nobody in this business but me and my husband. And then she goes quiet for like 10 seconds. There's like no communication between us. And she's like, I'll call you back. She hangs up immediately. It's like the cogs were turning in her head, right? Like as to what the situation was there. You know, I'm sure that poor lady, I'm sure her husband probably slept on the couch for a very long time after that. And she probably found out something about her husband that day.
We have no time to watch part 5.
Right. He's not gonna watch part 5 now. You know, he'll have to do it in secret. Cox was up for it. It was always so awkward too, like, and people always wanted to know the name of the title, right? We always had to preface that. It's like, oh, it's an adult title, and it's like, well, tell me the name of the title, and it's like, oh, it was the Little Spermaid. You know, and that was another one, right? It's like people always wanted to know what the titles were, and it's like that always was like the awkward part, because then like the conversation always got awkward after that. Thankfully, towards like the end, like right before the pandemic, they took that away from us. We didn't have to call. They hired another company to do DMCA complaints, and so for like the last 4 years of my job, we stopped doing DMCA complaints. But yeah, it was always like the dirty films that people wanted to know the names about, right? And so like we always made fun of like the Little Spermaid, and then there was like some Harry Potter one, and it was like the Chamber of Sex or something like that. There were always like parodies of like, you know, whatever was popular at the time. Did you ever have to rat out people for downloading video games? Oh yeah, all the time. All the time. Video games was huge, actually. And it was always the people who always did it were, well, the big three, right? Like Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony. They were always really big. But then there were the other ones, like Rosetta Stone would come up a lot. We'd always get like Rosetta Stone ones people would download, or like Pinsler stuff. What else was it? The books too, like a lot of textbooks, people would download the textbooks because, you know, textbooks is a big, you know, business, right? And so people were downloading their textbooks. They weren't buying the super expensive textbooks from the store. Adobe was another big one. So yeah, you would always see like the big obvious players, right? That had the most to lose were always the ones that would be reoccurring with that stuff. So like Microsoft was a big one. Well, I always saw a lot of Microsoft names in the complaints. Adobe came up a bunch as well. Corel came up every now and again. The Prisoner of Azkaban. That's great. That's gotta be a thing, right? Probably. Let's see here. Saru knows the names of the dirty adult titles. There were so many. I can't remember all of them. The ones I remember were the ones that I had to have conversations about. Was like the Harry Potter one, the Little Spermaid, the Anal Latina Dilfs 4. You know, there was also another one, and this one is kind of gross, and I'm sorry, but it was called "But I Poop From There." 5, like, why are there so many? And it always started out, "But I poop from there, but she's my sister, but blah blah blah." Like, why is this a thing? Why is this series? You can probably look it up. I'm sure you'd find it. These are like
one? Don't let mommy know or something, or don't.
Oh yeah, or it was like something like that, like, you know, don't tell mom or something like that, right? I don't remember. It was like something like that. Yeah, don't tell mom. You know, and it was always like those like I don't even know like what the actual thing was, right? If it was supposed to be like some weird like fucked up shit. Ace Ventura, Sex Detective. I mean, these write themselves, right? Of all of the calls you had to make, how often were they adult movies? A lot of them. I would say half of all of the DMCA complaints were adult films. Half, easily half. And then the other half was like miscellaneous stuff, right? The bigger chunk being games. I think after adult films, the next biggest thing was video games. And then everything else, right? Like textbooks, audio, music. Music was also big, actually. So actually, after video games, I would have to say music. People download a lot of music. They would get caught for it. It was always like stupid shit, right? Like, you know, stuff that's like hot that people are downloading, like the new Kanye album or whatever. It was always like stuff like that. But I would say it was adult content, video games, music, everything else, software, books, stuff like that. But don't double down me. But give me a Coke. Give me a Coke. This is highly educational, says Sasquatch. No, please don't double down me. But I poop from there 5.
But
Yeah. Oh my god, I love that. You guys.
You're not. That's not your cocks.
But that's not your cocks. Yeah, it was always stuff like that, you know, or like it was weird, and like the calls were always awkward when they wanted to know what it was. Though, like most people, though, at least had the decency. Like I would say, oh, they downloaded an adult film. That's all they wanted to know. They didn't want to know what it was, right? You know. But one case, it was like McDonald's Wi-Fi, and it was like, you know, they had like the 2G and the 5G set up, and they were like, do you know which network it came on? Sometimes we were able to tell if it was like the name, because the name would be like blah 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 5, you know, 5G or whatever it was called, the 5 megahertz 5G, stupid 5 megahertz or whatever. So we would have to tell them, oh, it happened on the 5 megahertz network. And, you know, one time it was at McDonald's and they were like, oh, we know exactly who it is. It's like, what the fuck? Like, did you capture an employee watching porn at work and didn't fire him then and there on the spot? It's like, what do you mean you know who this is? You know, like, and the manager hangs up and he's like, it's me. You know, like, how do you not, like, fire that employee then and there on the spot? Like, what the fuck? Like, how does that happen? Whoa, half? That's insane. Yeah, a lot of it was porn. I would say like 50% of it was porn, maybe 40 to 50%. I don't know, but it was a good amount of it. So much so that Cox had to hire a company to deal with DMCA's, I think. And at first they did like just the adult stuff. Fucking fly, get out of here. We have a neighbor that lets their dog shit all over the yard, and these little flies come in here every time we like open the door. Let's see here. Yeah, it was probably the manager. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Let's see. So movies aren't that big. That's surprising, says Nerd Strategy. Excuse my mouth. I watch porn sometimes, but who the hell watches porn at work? Like, what are you... I don't know. That's weird. That's weird. It's even weirder, like, for the person to say that they knew who it was. It's like, what the fuck? Great minds think alike, Mardell. What did he say? He was using it to make the Big Mac. I don't even know. Excuse? Okay, I read that already. All right, maybe we should get back to the weekly question. I think that we still have a couple more.
No, we're done.
Oh, I thought I saw another name there. Right there?
Oh, yeah, Fat Bayonetta.
Oh, okay. There's one. Fat Bayonetta says Nintendo DS was Fat Bayonetta's favorite portable to take with him. I just want to make sure that we weren't missing any. You fucking fly, get out of here! I hate bugs. I have worked so hard to make this house completely bug free. Well, Jesse does. Jesse goes out and he sprays, but I hate when I see bugs in here. I don't like bugs. I don't like them. Who the hell watches porn at work? Just get National Geographic magazine like an adult. I work from home, so I have watched porn at work. I think that's a little different, though, right? Matthew Kelly says, I think watching porn at work would get them into trouble and possibly get fired as well if they get caught. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, we called and we're like, oh, you know, this happened on your 5G network, which I guess is like the network that's what the employees use, and then like the 2 megahertz network is what the rest of the store uses. And the guy was like, I know exactly who that tells me exactly who it is. It's like, what the fuck? And in my mind, I'm like, if you know who it is, why weren't they fired at that point in time? But whatever. Let's see. Jesse scares the bugs with his panda head. Yeah, he does. I just make Jesse sit next to the window with his panda head. It scares everything. It makes it so that we have a nice, quiet, peaceful time. All right, let's go ahead and announce who the winner is for the weekly video game giveaway. Whenever we do these weekly questions, we're not going to do another show until we come back from Mexico, because we're just going to do random lives from Mexico, like game streaming and like taco excursion. We got to do a live taco excursion at least once or twice while we're there. Especially since we got taco money. Thank you guys for donating to feed us in Mexico. This will feed us in Mexico. I really appreciate it. All right, now let's do the video game giveaway. These are all the people that entered. Jesse's going to go ahead and shuffle it a few times. We're going to shuffle it 1, 2, 3 times.
2, and 3.
3 shuffles. All right, good luck to everybody. We're going to go ahead and spin the wheel now. Go. Good luck, everybody. Let's see who our winner is.
It's going to be Sweets or Markdale.
Oh, Sweet Like Sugar. Sweet Like Sugar, you are the winner for our weekly video game giveaway. Congratulations. Just let us know what you would like and we will stick it in your box.
I love Saru's big cock stories.
Lots of cocks being down stories. That was a whole thing. I love Saru's big cock stories. Alright. Liquid. That was the last of my liquid. Congratulations, Sweet Like Sugar. Let's see here. Maybe they wanted to make sure the printer wasn't watching porn. Or they're printing porn on the printer.
Oh yeah, Matthew Roach really loves Sweets. It picked her a couple weeks ago too.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Nice. Very cool. Last week was someone. Who was last week?
I think it was Randrick.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Yeah, because we did 2 back-to-back. Normally we do 2 Saru shows. Every other week we'll do a Saru show. We did 2 back-to-back this time around because we're leaving to Mexico and we're not going to do one until we come back from Mexico. So I didn't want there to be a huge gap from last week all the way until we come back. So that's why we did one this week as well. 4 big cocks. Says Famicom Collecting. Wheel Love Sweets. I remember someone doing Coke off their desk, but they were in sales, so it wasn't surprising. They had to keep that energy up. They had to keep that high energy to make all the sales. All right, very cool. Well, I appreciate everyone coming in tonight. Tonight was a fun show. We had all sorts of people here, all kind of stuff. Matthew Cully says, question for Saru Maru. Did you ever try out Grimace's birthday shakes at McDonald's? I did.
I did try it out once.
Tried out once, and it was delicious. It tastes like grape milk shake. Interesting. They still have it, right?
I think they still have it.
We should try it. Yeah, we should try it before it goes away. No, we can't go right now because the ice cream machines are never up.
Yeah, that's true.
They always turn them off because they're broken or they're cleaning or whatever other story. It's always McDonald's with their stupid ice cream makers are always down. How do you like your cocks? That was another one we in the contractor days of Cocks at Home, which was the residential side. It was, how do you like your cocks? Do you feel, what was it? Is cocks fulfilling your needs? There was another one. It's thank you for, I don't remember. Thank you for trusting cocks or something. There was a bunch of them. Grimace cocks. Grimace has got a big purple cocks. Big purple floppy. Big. No.
Shut up.
Big floppy purple.
No. Okay, we're done here.
Big purple Grimace cocks. Grimace is like plop, right? Oh. The chat is full of interesting cocks users. Says Sasquatch in time. How would you rate your cocks? Main cocks in the system as CEI, Cox Enterprise Inc., which is always think, come eating instructions. What? Nothing. Flop. Lol. Roll credits. Sorry, I'm choking on my.
My cocks.
Oh, my saliva. Yeah. Today it's been crazy, crazy, guys. McDonald's is too busy watching porn to fix the ice cream machine. Yes.
Who said that?
Onto Gamer, 100%. If they didn't watch so much porn at work, we can get a fucking Grimace milkshake right now. God damn it. That's what's going on, right? Cox is too busy watching porn at work.
Main Cox is the system as CEI.
I read that one. That's
okay.
That's not ice cream.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. I know. It's great at rolls. All right. Thank you, everyone, for tonight. It was super fun. Way longer than normal, right? Normally our SaruShow, we try to keep it between 1 and 2 hours, but today we had a lot of questions. This is also the reason why make sure you guys answer the weekly question when we put it up. I'll do a community tab thing on YouTube when we decide what the question is when we come back so that you guys can answer. So make sure to check out the community tab on YouTube. I do post stuff there every once in a while. So make sure to check it. We'll do the weekly question there. I'll make a community post when we do. I'll share it on the Discord as well. Matthew Roach does a good job in making sure everyone knows that the weekly question is up. We'll share it in our Twitch channel. Also, if you guys do like to watch people play retro games, we do streams on Twitch every single week. We do 2 streams a week. We do a Monday stream and a Friday stream. So make sure to stop by. We are on Twitch as just Sarumaru VG because Sarumaru by itself was taken by some person who doesn't use it. Beep, beep, beep. So we are Sarumaru VG, which is also the name of my Twitter and my... I started a PC Engine Twitter community if you guys want to join for PC Engine fans. If you guys know PCEngineFans.com, I did like the artwork banner for PCEngineFans.com. There is also a Twitter group for PC Engine fans. If you want to join it, it's just called PC Engine Fans on Twitter. So if you guys want to join it, go ahead and join it. It's a PC Engines related group. I'm trying to figure out how to create a second group for Retro Japan. I want to do one for Retro Japan as well, and then I'll run those 2 different groups on Twitter. If you guys want to join, you can. Are Atari Jaguar fans allowed on PC Engine fans? No! I'm just kidding. Yes, you can, but you can't talk about Jaguar. It has to be PC Engine related. Only PC Engine. Happy affiliate anniversary on Twitch. Saru. Wait, is that already a thing? No way. What is it? Is it the 2-year now on Twitch?
I think it's 2 years now, yeah.
What? Oh, we got to do an anniversary. But this Monday. We'll do Monday. Is it really? Bonk alerts are here. No, that's not it. How do we find out? How do we check? How do we see? How do we see what it is? 12 months, 25 months? Yeah, I think, yeah, it is. I got a message that said exactly that, Saru, when I went to your Twitch channel. Oh, Monday. Okay, Monday night, we're doing our 2-year Twitch anniversary stream then. All right. That's what Monday is. We'll do. We'll start on the stream deck because Mark got me Street Fighter 6. So we're gonna play some Street Fighter 6 on the Steam Deck on Monday, and then we'll play some Switch games after Street Fighter 6 on Monday. So Monday we like to start. Usually on Mondays we start earlier at like 6 or 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time because Monday is kind of a hard day to start later when people live on the East Coast. So on Monday expect us around anywhere between 6 and 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But Fridays and Saturdays we always start at like 8:30. But yeah, so this Monday make sure that you guys check out the Twitch channel. It's just Sarumaru VG if you search for it. If you're not following me on Twitch, please do so. I'm trying to get to 1,000 so bad. I feel like I'm not super close. I still need like 300 people to 1,000, I think. How many do I have? I think I have like 650, right?
For what?
For Twitch?
No, you have 700.
700. I need 300 more people to 1,000.
704.
704. I need 296 people to hit 1,000. I would be happy with that. And then I can just, at that point, I'll just end my life. No, at that point, that's a good milestone, you know, for me. Would be 1,000 would be good. So there it is. Sarumaru VG, thank you so much, Matthew. Matthew, you are awesome. Always on the ball with stuff. Thank you so much, Matthew. There is the Twitch channel. Please follow it if you like retro stuff. neo-geo CD. Sometimes Steam Deck, sometimes Switch. Mostly retro, though. On the Polymega, we play everything. Super Nintendo, Genesis, Sega Saturn, PC Engine on Fridays. PC Engine Fridays is always a thing. On Fridays, 90% of Fridays. Ask everyone in Mexico. I have a lot of subs that come from Mexico, actually, who are regulars, right? Like Alberto is a regular. Who else is a regular? Poco, Roxas. We have a few regulars. Smex Sunday says Famicom collecting. We gave the Smex to Matthew Roach. Matthew Roach is the proud collector the proud owner of the Smex. I don't know if he's the proud owner of it, but we gave it to him anyway. Time to start streaming a lot of Master System games. Seriously, like, I feel like I need the Polymega to support the Master System already, so I can play that on the Master System. I guess I could just hook up the Mister to play Master System. I just like the console experience of the Polymega. It just feels very streamlined. I feel like people are like looking at something. It's just pretty. It's just pretty to stream with. It's just pretty. Okay, it's just that's what it is. Yo-Yo also, yeah. Yo-Yo also, yeah. Yo-Yo, Poco, Roxas, Alberto.
Mr. Damn it.
I think out of all of the new Mexican fans that I got, I think Alberto is the one that comes the most regular.
Almost every time, yeah.
Yeah, he's in almost every stream, out of the Spanish-speaking audience, in Mexico specifically, because I think we used to get some other, like, Shangri-La's from Chile, right? Yeah, he's Chilean, but I haven't seen him around in a while. Plug in your Mister, damn it. I do. I use the Mister. Actually, you know what I'm using the Mister for? Is game capture. The Mister is my game capture device, and it's, like, perfect. So I have the Misters connected to my AverMedia portable, and I'm using it to capture game footage for videos, which I really just need to fucking edit the videos. I just need to edit these videos. I have so many half-edited videos, you guys, that I just need to edit. It's just so time-consuming. I've recorded so much footage, because I'm using the Mister now to record game footage, and it's awesome. It's worked out great as a capture device. Mister is life, Mister is love, Mister is sex. Let's see. Awesome. I'm just an old Mexican fan. Lamau, just kidding, sorry. What were your I thought you aren't you like
No, he's fine.
Cuban or Dominican or something? I don't remember. I thought you were like of some other Spanish descent. Mr. is Cox. Oh, I'm half Mexican and half Nicaraguan. Okay.
That's what it is.
Gotcha. All right. I thought you were, but I lay claim to the world. The world is mine. The world is my oyster. All right.
We're going to go eat.
We're hungry. We need food. We need real food. Oh yeah, we haven't eaten today.
No, just a piece of like
a little bit of sandwich.
And I had all the snacks.
You ate all the snacks. Did you eat any cookies?
No, those are yours.
Those are mine. Why did you leave he left the oatmeal cookies, but he ate everything with cheese. He ate the Cheetos. He ate the cheese and crackers. All of the good stuff. Though I love these. I love these Mrs. Fields.
Oh, I love
oatmeal raisin.
No, I am Cox.
They're so good.
No, I am Cox.
No, I am Cox. Mark Dell lays claim to Cox.
Any pizza left? No, we ate it the whole.
We ate that. That pizza was gone that day. The pretzel pizza does not last. I absolutely love that pretzel pizza. I've been working Cox for 13 plus years. Damn, that's a long time. Holy shit. And you were working with the Mannheimen first, right? Do they still have Mannheimen? Is Mannheimen still a thing with Cox? Or do they call it? I think it's Cox something else, right? The Mannheimen. The Mannheimen. Wub y'all loads. Have a great night. Everyone says screw the net. VN Solutions now Auto Trader and DDC. Yeah, they bought Auto Trader like a long time ago, right? I remember because I had a Mannheim still exists. The auction people. Is Mannheim still... Because Mannheim was a thing in, like, New Zealand, right? Or, like, Australia or something like that, I remember. I remember somebody brought it up to me because they were like, hey, didn't you used to live on that side of the world? You should apply for the Mannheimen. Because I think they have operations there. And I was like, no, I'm fine. Australia's awesome, but it's too expensive. Yes, Auto Trader, I think, is a jewel of Cox Auto. Yeah, I mean, they bought it a long time ago. I remember. I had a friend who worked at Auto Trader, and I think she got laid off after the acquisition. It's like, oops, that happens. That happens. This was ages ago. This would have been in, like, I don't know, a long time ago, like 2008 or something. I don't remember when. It was a long time ago. But yeah, Cox had consumed them. Because that's what Cox did here in Nevada with Prime Cable. Cox came in and they just absorbed Prime Cable. And Prime Cable had already like set up all the infrastructure for them. It was this whole thing. It was a whole thing. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I think that was it. We've done everything tonight.
Yep.
All of the things. We're going to go eat. Anyway. Thanks everyone for stopping in. Cox has consumed them. I've seen that hentai. Thanks everyone for stopping in tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Matthew Roach, for the generous donation tonight and for all of the gift subs. Mark Dell, also thank you so much for your generous donation. Nerd Strategy as well. Thank you all so much for donating towards the Taco Panda Fund. It is going to go... That's going to probably feed us for like half of the time that we're there, probably, to be honest, because like if we're sticking to like cheap eats, yeah, it'll be great. Thank you so much, everyone. You guys are all so awesome. I love you all so much, and we will see you next time. Bye bye.